that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen. Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. There is so much a man can tell me, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain, baby. To me, you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become a lot and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a
Golan-Globus make Kiss by Rose in the something. I forget how that song goes, but it's beautiful.
Yep, I agree.
You know Seal very well.
He gets my seal of approval.
Well, didn't you guys have a run-in and there was an acid issue and that's how his face got the way it
we were
did?
fighting over Heidi Klum. I didn't want her because I don't like skinny blondes. I've said that before.
It's true.
But,
He has said that before.
she was in love with me, and I'm just like, and I'm like,
What a
Seal, take her off my hands.
Seal you
But
later
he
is
did-
the line you used that really offended him.
And I had to throw acid in his face. But you know, that's my. I do like the Joker. I have like a little boutonniere, and I go,
Yes.
sniff this, squirt in his face.
When you go, there's going to be the most amazing estate sale where people are going to be going through your pockets, your pants, shorts, pockets, because you actually have a tube system that goes from your pockets that are made to hold acid.
I have more than one tube system, but
You don't even want to know about your other. I feel
well,
privileged
you
to
should.
know about
This is sex-
one.
This is Sex Thriller Month.
Wait,
Before we get into that, I have an announcement to make. We just got back from the Great Redford Theater. We saw a movie thanks to my good friend. I don't know what your deal is with Phil. We used his gift certificates to the Redford Theater. He went through a shitload of trouble to get for us.
He did. I begrudgingly thank you, Phil. Even I can doff my cap your direction.
And we went and saw. This is the first time in 40. I guess I'm gonna have to explain it for any newcomers. The story. 1979, Griff. 5-year-old little Tim Murray at the drive-in. Drive-in. Blue Sky Theater, Pontiac, Michigan. We had like the golden era of drive-ins. We had like 4 at least within like 5-6 miles.
I've driven by them all, and they're all dilapidated and closed.
Oh yeah, most of them are gone. So go see the Muppet movie, Griff. Loved the Muppet Show as a little kid, like most kids.
Yeah.
I didn't know, like, I'm 5. I can't grasp. I don't know what's going on in the world. I just know the Muppet movie's out. I want to see it.
Yeah.
So I didn't know usually drive-ins would have double feature because the first hour of your fucking first movie is in the dusk. You can barely see the
Barely
fucking-
see it. Fuck that, man.
Second movie, Griff. Godzilla versus the Smog Monster.
And are you already a Godzilla fan as a kid?
Fanatic. I love Godzilla.
Okay.
4 o'clock movie, Godzilla week. I've explained it a million times. Godzilla is a special place in my heart. Still to this day, my favorite monster.
Right. We've already recorded a Godzilla episode, everybody. Go
Godzilla
back.
versus Megalon.
Very good episode.
Very good movie. Very good episode. Okay. So we see them up movie. Satisfied. Great.
Rainbow Connection.
Can't wait for fucking this Godzilla movie to start.
What a contrast, by the way.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll get into
Fucking beautiful, no problems in the world, over to
darkness and
despair.
Yeah, you're right, because I'm used to like the one we did, Godzilla vs. Megalon, fun as fuck. It's
Yeah.
just him and a robot tag team wrestling monsters.
Literally tag teaming. We called it out in the episode. Hulk Hogan, the wave to the ear thing, pumping up the audience that's not there.
Yeah, so
Breaking the fourth wall,
so
maybe.
Excited. as soon as it starts, we're in a darker world, a darker Godzilla world. Well, I don't want Godzilla or myself to be in. So I got immediately weirded out. And I was thinking, this is 45-year memory. I've not seen this movie till today. It's 45 years ago. I've never seen it in entirety until today. So I was like, maybe I overreacted. No, I did not overreact at all. I had the right reaction a 5-year-old should have to this movie, because this is not a fun Godzilla movie. I mean, there's some fun moments.
There is.
But it's very, I mean, it's a serious, it's this guy, the director, cared about the environment.
Yes.
He's giving us a warning, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
What we're gonna happen.
I hear ExxonMobil is waiting to do their own directorial cut where they actually admit, no, actually, it's none of this environmental stuff is a problem.
No,
they're going to cover it all
clean
up.
oil.
Yes,
If you
clean
put the word
coal,
clean
clean
in front of your
oil.
fossil fuel, it makes it not.
All
believable.
you have to do is run it through a coffee filter and it's clean now.
So I mean, the Godzilla. We're not gonna go through all the review, but the monster is a big pile of shit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
sludge.
Yeah. And
Disturbing.
someone
There's a scene where he blows monster diarrhea all over Godzilla.
according to the woman who did the, found out the trivia, because that's the
I
Redford.
want to say we enter the Redford Theater. I'm trepidatious to begin with. I'm getting some PTSD bubbling up.
Murray grabbed my arm, everybody.
Yes,
he
I
did.
And then I see a woman dressed as a smog monster.
I was looking for a woman. And all I
Give
saw
her
was
points. Great job.
She did. She killed it.
It was a great costume.
It was awesome.
But I'm like sweating. I was flop sweating. Chris.
It's a good thing you weren't confined in a car at that moment.
Right.
You had more move.
Yes.
I haven't seen you so agile.
I said, what would our listeners think? It's my job to inspire our listeners to conquer their fears.
That's right.
So I said, I'm going to do this. Fear is the mind killer. I kept repeating in my
Thank
head.
you.
We sat down. I want to thank you for holding my hand through the entire movie.
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for.
And you reassured me when things were getting really dark. You're like,
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. You're going to get through this.
Murray, the light for Murray throughout the movie, besides me holding his hand the whole time, was little Ken and his constant sweater, overall lederhosen, tiny little shorts.
That would look hot on a chick. If
That
there's
would.
Chicks, you need Ken from Smog Monster outfit. If there's any,
Yeah. I would. Yeah.
Yeah, do that, girls.
Let's forget the connection on why you did
Sweater
that.
with tiny shorts.
But yeah, I think that
And
would
knee
be a look.
socks. Yeah,
And
do
knee
that.
socks,
Do
yeah.
that. Yeah, and I conquered my fear, people, and you can conquer your fear too. Yes, I am a hero.
You are,
But
yeah.
You can. Yet you'll never be as good as me, but you can still aspire to be good.
Yeah. I did pay the Smog Monster off on the way out to award Murray with the medal. So
I thought that was legitimate.
I'm
What are you-
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
God. But
I
there you have
I
it,
can't lie to
people.
the audience.
Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. Don't take a small child to it. It'll traumatize them.
Yeah.
But-
That 9-year-old that was sitting by us, he was laughing his tits off. So you just needed to wait a few years.
Sociopath.
Well, he was a Smog
He's
Monster
a future
himself.
serial killer.
He's a Smog Monster himself. As
You
I
notice what was the color of his hair, Griff?
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah.
But what else did I notice? This is an all-volunteer situation. So they actually offer free movie tickets to help clean up afterwards. This little motherfucker shit on the floor. He was throwing popcorn. At one point, he chucked his Sprite and said, "Dad, this is Sprite. Why did you give me Sprite?"
Don't drink Sprite.
No one drinks Sprite except Jim Cornette.
So yeah, there you have it, people. Conquer your fears.
That's
You're
right.
Welcome.
That's right. I had
some great-
I had to face a fear recently because the world is algorithms now.
Yeah.
There's no originality. Everybody is just telling you about the algorithms feeding them. Oh, I found this great new band. Your algorithm did. So I really only use YouTube. Sometimes it gets fucking wacky though and offers the weirdest suggestions. So recently, last night I was on there and they're just amongst, Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats and fucking Steely Dan and weird Andy Daly podcast stuff. It offers me ASMR roleplay videos. Not just one, everybody.
Sexual roleplay?
Murray, I'm going to feed you 4 different YouTube. Of course, I did not click on these, but I want everyone to know about this demon I had to face last night. Just like your Smog Monster. These are 4 demons I had to face last night. movie theater concession ASMR role play.
Well, I don't even understand that.
I don't understand it either. Apparently, it's somebody going.
Like a Sprite.
Exactly. That's what that has to be, right? It was 20 minutes long.
Yeah, okay.
Luxury perfume salesman.
Okay.
Michael.
Like this set. I want, if anyone's listening, any women listening, there's got to be at least one. Was that sexy?
Was that sexy?
Are these for women or for men? These are for men. These got to be, because men are so fucked up and weird. I mean, women just want to fuck dogs.
They were.
White women want to fuck dogs, but men want to just fuck anything.
All of these are ASMR of men. They're all men doing it.
Men doing it.
Men doing it.
Oh, so is it for gay men or for women?
I couldn't tell you. I don't care. I don't think they're, caring about where their shot's going. Michael Winslow, pickleball play-by-play.
Wait, what?
Michael Winslow, pickleball play-by-play.
This has to be a joke.
It's got to be him doing the pong,
Yeah.
boom, and then doing the
Well,
play-by-play.
you did mention pickleball
Last week.
so the algorithm picked up.
The algorithm picked that up, and what is Michael Winslow doing play-by-plays? Has times gotten that hard?
Well, yeah. When's the last time Police Academy movies? But
That's a good point. You can't do a Police Academy movie anymore because we all
fund the Police Academy. Movie.
fund the. There.
There you go. There's the premise right there. Get Steve Guttenberg.
And if anybody knows me, you know what this last ASMR
Can't do it
is.
without Tackleberry, by the way.
You know what this last one's gonna be.
No, I don't. Tell me.
Sandwiches.
That I can masturbate to.
I can't imagine. Is it ordering the sandwich, constructing the sandwich, eating the sandwich?
That would get you off.
Yeah.
Dry turkey breast.
It would sound like Dune. It would sound like a fucking narration from Dune.
Sandwich. Your sandwich.
All right, everybody.
So, speaking of pervs, Griff, I let it be known a couple weeks ago we have a tribunal of pervs that when we do the sex thriller month because, like we said, we're good Christians.
We are such good Christian boys.
But we also know we have the most perverted audience in the world.
And like good Christians, we welcome you.
Right. So we throw you a bone. We don't know this world, so I consult my perv tribunal.
That's right.
So my favorite perv, which I'm not going to name names because I don't want my pervs being jealous, but this one's my favorite, sent me, I didn't know this is even possible, Griff. You can make transcripts of our episodes.
Yeah.
I didn't know, because first they did send it to me because they had some quibble with it. I was like, is this a Shakespearean play I've never read? What is this? And they're like, no, it's not Shakespeare. Because I was reading, I was like, this is like poetry I'm reading.
Every third word is a new word to the English language.
Yeah. I was like, wait, this isn't Matt Sosi didn't send this to me.
That's right.
But I don't know what the quibble was. I forgot about that already. But what I did remember was it's poetry. Our show is Poetry in Motion.
Yes.
And I want to make leather-bound books of all of our episodes and make them available for people. We'll also put the Pledge of Allegiance and the Ten Commandments in every one of them.
There we go.
$60, $59.99.
Yeah.
And I want Matt Sosi, because he is the Bard of Flint.
That's right.
I want him to direct Obsession Days for Fear, the episode. Can you do that, Matt? He can do that.
He's probably got it all scripted out in his head already. Yeah. He's like, guys, I was driving to work the other day, and I already figured out how we were going to construct this whole thing. Right. He's probably got the perfect person to play, what's her name, Diane.
Yeah.
This is incredible. I can't wait. Everything's moving forward. And I want to thank another pervert out there, Abra, of course, for suggesting the movie we're going to be talking about today. Yeah. And she did want to say, she's been getting into the spirit, of course, of Sexual Thriller Month because, that's her alley. That's the alley she likes to lurk in.
Right.
But she did have something else to suggest to us. She communicated this to us.
She did many things. I was like, enough!
Through our SoundCloud, she did recommend that everybody, if you're enjoying Sexual Thriller Month, go check out Margaret Atwood's Rape Fantasies, a short story she wrote.
Yeah, because I'm right. There's women that have rape fantasies, and there's nothing wrong with that.
There's
It's
nothing
a
wrong with that.
fantasy.
Consent.
That's Handmaiden's Tale, right? That's,
Yeah, I believe that's that woman. Yeah, she's still. Yeah, I think she's still writing parts to Handmaid's Tale,
Sure,
or like
why
a. Yeah, I can't remember. I shouldn't be saying this
So
shit.
yeah, it is bittersweet, but this is the last week of sex thriller. I hope this registers as a sex thriller.
Right.
But this is more. I mean, there's sex in it. Not good sex, but there's sex in it.
You're right. Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
There is
Oh my-
sex
there
in it.
was- There's one of the least fuckable music I've ever heard in the one sex scene.
Man, yeah, you know, we have had Mattingly just as an exercise and keeping them limber and everything. Bring up the what's it called machine?
The sweets
and scale.
She's a Watson machine.
I know. I'm so sorry. Guys,
It ain't Dr. Seuss. It's not a Watson machine.
guys, we're recording 2 hours later than usual, so me and Maria are both thrown off.
Feng
Our,
shui, it's
our,
all
our whole fucking game's off. So excuse me. But we do still have Mattingly bring this feeds and scale up. There's no reason to put it down in the basement that we do. Our basement is 4,000 stairs deep. But we have them bring it up each week just in case.
Yeah.
We don't need it this week. That's the only point.
It's This is your first Eric Bogosian movie.
You know what? I forget all the movies he was in. I feel like
he's one of those guys that pops up. He's
Yeah.
not I think the only movie he starred in was Talk Radio, which was
Yeah.
I want to say that was the first movie Oliver Stone did after Platoon. I might be wrong about that, but that's when like Oliver Stone was hot.
Okay.
And he was like he played like a hot take, like your average radio guy, hot take guy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
He was a killer that wanted to kill him. I called in like I'm gonna kill you.
Okay. I think I know of that movie.
Well,
That's about it.
I've never seen it either.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's
in a lot of TV shows.
He specializes in that New York fake tough guy thing. Like, I'm from New York. Fuck you, man. And then you just slap him in the face. Like, hey, man,
Yeah.
cool it.
Grab a slice and cool it.
You know, like he's like, because he's from New York, even though he's probably from the Upper West Side, the osmosis of New York makes him tough. Like every New Yorker thinks they're tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
He's
Or
a-
at least he's good at playing those guys.
He
I don't
could.
know how he is.
He might be good at the verbal assault, but yeah, he's definitely not a fucking tough guy. But he has a creep look for days. As I was getting through this movie, I was like, I need to know more about this guy. I was looking up his IMDb. He pops up in a lot of fucking TV shows. Miami Vice.
Who the fuck wasn't in Miami Vice? Everyone pops up in Miami Vice.
I know. That's what's so good about that fucking show, though.
You know
It's
what?
like,
Stewart, pick out another Miami Vice. We gotta get Stewart.
dude,
back on.
Stewart, if you can, oh my god, I would love that. I need some Miami Vice in my life, and I need some Stewart in my life.
Coming around to Sonny Crockett, because you were a Sonny Crockett hater.
Yeah, I
You
know.
Still hate, you love Sonny Burnett. You
Yeah.
don't like Sonny Crockett.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember which way. Was it Burnett was the bad one?
Yes.
I love Sonny Burnett. He was fucking great. Sonny Crockett, I don't know. I still got to be sold out. But that show is fucking fantastic. There is either a groundhog out my bedroom window or a deer out my bedroom window, and that's what Millie's barking at right now. No, it's a fucking good movie, and I got to say, what I loved about this movie, it's basically Columbo.
Is it?
Think about it.
Yeah,
You
there's a murder. We see it.
You see how the murder happens
Yeah.
in the first 20 minutes of the movie. You have a detective, who comes into the scene, starts working the case. He's aloof. He goes along. He plays dumb. Rumpled rain jacket.
disheveled.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's got crazy hair.
Yeah.
It's Columbo. We're going to break it down.
You're right.
It's Columbo.
This is a Larry Cohen production, a true guerrilla filmmaker. I respect that. I respect people that just do their own thing. They don't care about being in the Hollywood system. They're like, I got a vision, and I'm going to see it through. And they're not every one of his movies is good,
Yeah.
but I still respect that.
Right.
And I think we said we did one. I can't remember what it is. We did one of his movies before.
Yeah.
But he's like a true New Yorker. I think all his shit's filmed in New York.
Is he a fake New York tough guy?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about him. But he uses a lot. It seems like he uses a lot of amateur actors, you know,
Yes.
because these are very micro budget movies.
Right.
There's a lot of ideas, but there's not a lot of budget. I gotta say, Eric Bogosian says great in this. Some of the other actors,
Yeah.
the female lead. Zoe Lund, I believe is her name. Her other biggest movie is Miss 45, which is a movie I think we're eventually going to get to doing. For the longest, I've wanted to do a Lethal Ladies month where we do female protagonists with a different female guest. You ladies don't want to come on the show. Why are you scared of us?
I mean, we're nothing but welcoming.
Yeah, I don't get it. But that one was good because she's a mute. She doesn't talk. Because once you hear Zoe Lund talk...
Maybe... Why are you guys afraid of us? This movie's good. She's a mute.
Well, I'm talking about the actress, the character.
I know what.
What's that got to do with any other thing? I'm sorry, I can't criticize any woman. That's it.
There was just kind of a subtlety to it. That's all.
No. Here's the thing. Griff doesn't respect you women. He thinks you're all fragile and frail. I don't. I think you're strong. I think you could handle our show. I think you're strong enough. You're enough strong for our show. So I did a little research on this woman. She was not only a junkie, an advocate for heroin addiction. She said it was great, which probably explains her emaciated look.
Yes, she has Ozempic face.
She eventually died of, actually, ironically, cocaine. So she died early. I think she died in her 40s
Christ.
or something.
I wonder what she would say about the fentanyl era.
But oh my God, her voice was fingernails on a chalkboard.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was. It seemed like in the first dozen scenes too, she was dubbed over.
She was, which just tells you how bad was, because she's playing a Southern character in the beginning. How bad was that accent that Larry Cohen's like, fuck, I got to get someone to do a bad dubbing.
It was so hard to do the notes because it was like her voice is disorienting. You have characters coming, going, things happening. It's like, what do I need to jot down here? It was a rough first 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Interesting.
Do we have anything else we need to talk about?
No, man. We're going to get to it all in the movie, as you know. We kept them here.
All right, everybody. Take your pants off one last time.
Oh, one last time.
And
remember, the bowl, you keep the bowl of packed jelly ready. You dip your whole dick and balls in there. And then you keep the oil-soaked or turpentine-soaked rag
on hand.
If you
feel a burning sensation. That might be the pack.
Rub vigorously.
That might not be an orgasm. That might be the pack jelly. Really, seriously.
Yeah.
Turpentine on hand. I don't think you're going to need it for this movie, but I don't know. I mean, people love our...
Hey, to each their own. Yeah. We got these sexy voices, you know. It's constant. It's constant. The whispers we get. Yeah. It's disgusting.
So, put your balls in the packed jelly after 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Special effect trailer.
I'm looking for Mary Jean. You see Mary Jean?
There's no Mary Jean here.
This is Christopher Neville.
Okay, cut.
He's famous for directing big-budget movies. But the movies he makes at home are a lot more interesting and not very nice. This is Mary Jean. She's dying to be a movie star.
I'm looking for Mary Jean.
Chris Neville is about to make Mary Jean's dream come true. Special effects.
I want that reel of film.
Who says I've got it?
Please.
Make dirty pictures.
Bastard!
Cut. Print.
Watch it!
Special effects. Only death is for real. From New Line Cinema.
Welcome in. We've got credits rolling, and we're hearing voiceover. Our director, Chris Neville, is being interviewed.
Right. We're learning about the director, Chris Neville, played by Eric Bogosian. He is an erotica director. Some say porno. He's like, no, it's erotica.
That's right. There's no penetration.
He, much like in the real world, Hollywood, he came up through the independents, and then they're like, give this guy a Marvel movie.
That's right.
So he had a $30 million budget from 1984. That's $1 billion in today's money.
That's right.
To make, I believe it was Brother Voodoo, the movie.
Brother Voodoo.
Yeah.
Murray,
And-
wow.
And, yeah, it was pretty obscure, but
Who was he going to cast as Brother Voodoo?
that was the thing. It was Kevin Costner. That's why it failed, Griff. He thought Kevin could bring some new direction to it.
Does Brother Voodoo have like a Louisiana accent?
Yeah, I think he is.
I could see Kevin Costner killing it.
He killed it all right. He killed Neville's career because this is the thing. And he's trying to keep face because everyone's dunking on him like, oh, Christopher Neville, the auteur, you failed, and he's like, hey man, no, I did not fail.
Man, hey, we're right here. All we get on YouTube is hate. You get it.
Yeah.
Even for a little fish like us. I mean, we play Timbley Stadium, but in the States, we're a little fish.
Right.
We have the reverse.
We're appreciated in our hometown. We're the Rodriguez. I mean, we weren't.
Yeah, we're the reverse King Diamond. We're big over there, small over here.
We're respected in our yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're fine.
So yeah, it's like I get it. You let it all bounce off of you.
Yeah. So now we know he's desperate for a comeback.
That's right.
All right, now we're in the White House.
Dun, 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 dun.
Trump's
Please.
White House, it looks like.
Well, it's definitely Trump's White House. There's sanitizer everywhere. Burger King wrappers, McDonald's boxes.
We need to bring this world back. I think this is a new business we could do, Griff, to make some money. Like, I can see the hipsters like lapping this off.
Oh my God! I was just at an estate sale today with all kinds of vintage cameras.
Right. We see a woman.
Yeah, Murray, come on, movie? No,
I'm sorry, I'm reading from my script.
that's right. We're reading from our script.
Her name's Mary Jean Waterman. She's from Oklahoma. She's a Okie from Muskogee.
That's right.
Come to the big city to be a star like so many women did back in the day. Winds up in the sex industry.
That's right.
So she's got that trashy fucking porn star blonde.
So you like it? The hair, that is.
Sometimes, because you notice sometimes it was kind of curly, and sometimes it was like,
Yeah.
I like the curly better.
The curly was
it's
better.
a wig, by the way. Anyway.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had mixed feelings about Zoe the actress, because she is like attractive, but she's just too skinny for me.
She's got kind of an Anya.
gaunt.
She's like 70s Anya Taylor-Joy.
Okay.
Because at the end of the movie, I was getting that vibe off her, where she's got the really small Ozempic face and then the big eyes.
Yeah. Well, they talk about she has big eyes later on.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they need to do a remake of Special Effect with Anya
Taylor-Joy.
Taylor-Joy.
I think that's her name. I hope so. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm kind of, but she's representing America well. She's got the Uncle Sam hat on. She's got not pasties. She's got glitter circles around gold glitter circles around her nipples. I think her nipples are like silver glitters.
Yeah.
And we got all these creeps, like, 'cause we're like going a circle around.
She's
her.
on a tiny little pedestal
And
that's
it's supposed to be like in the Oval Office.
Yeah, and it's just doing a little circle. And what is that? Hail to the Chimp or something like that? That song? Dun, 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 dun. That's playing on fucking repeat.
It's role play, man.
Dude.
And hasn't everyone dreamed of taking pictures of the female president naked?
I mean, Nancy Reagan.
Exactly. She was the first lady at this time.
That's right.
So we got creeps. They had to rent out cameras. I think we could do this, right?
I agree. No, I see where you're going with it. I love it.
They're just like we're getting a pan, like a 360 pan of the camera, seeing these creeps taking their Polaroid. Not Polaroids.
Listeners, I know what you're thinking. These are a highfalutin. No, they're your dock workers. They're the guys in the long johns. They've got the fucking ribbed caps on. They look like they just finished their shift with Ginty, and they're like, I need to see something fucking pleasing to the eye.
Right. So everyone is enjoying themselves except for one guy who walks in.
And he's cutting. He's trumping it up. He's fucking pushing people out of the way.
Got one of the bouncers like, hey, buddy, you need to go rent a camera. He just face palms that
Face
guy.
palms him.
And then the woman notices him, and She knows this guy.
She turtles up. She covers her
Right.
tits. She's like hiding away from him and
She's
everything.
ashamed of herself all of a sudden. She was glorifying her in her body. And then when she sees him, it's all back to shame.
All right. So she finds a moment to escape. She runs off. And we're going to learn this character's name is Keith.
Not Keith with TH. Keith.
Keith.
Keefe.
No.
I guess that's what they call Kiefer Sutherland for short.
Yeah, maybe. We wanted to do. Oh, by the way, rest in power, Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
You don't like Donald?
I mean, I thought it was kind of insulting that it was all
Modern movies?
Hunger Games. Okay, Donald Sutherland was in a lot of classic movies.
Yes.
In the 60s and 70s. It's like Hunger Games actor dies.
Fucking, I just got to see Clutie like 2 years ago. That
Clutie? It's just Clue. It's not Clue.
It's not Oh, excuse me. I'm so fucking sorry. Jesus. The look Murray's giving me right now.
No, I'm sorry. That was I can't. No.
I thought it was Clutie.
No, it's Clute.
Okay. Whatever. I'm so sorry.
You're not in Australia. You've been reading that fucking Australian slang book too long.
I found
Hello, the Clutie there.
I found an Australian slang
You
book.
ever seen Clutie? Got Donny Sutherlandy.
Murray's gonna take me down to the Halsey later today.
No, it's Clute. But yeah, no, fuck, enough about Donald Sutherland. We're getting this movie.
Yeah, we're getting this movie.
This guy Keefe rhymes with queef because he's just a pussy fart of a person. Runs after her.
I always felt bad because there was this idiot on the tennis team. We like some of the older guys would, fucking bully and call him Queef. And then 5 years,
Funny to me, but-
and then 5 or 6 years ago, I found out he got caught with a shit ton of child pornography.
Yeah, see, there you
So
go.
I was like, "Fuck, did they know?" So do I get to feel good about calling him a Queef?
Yes, you can retroactively be good about bullying. Or maybe you pushed him into that. You know, I don't know.
He was older
Maybe
than-
you're the reason.
Yeah.
Anyway, Queef Keef punches out the bouncer guy and then runs after her. She runs into the dressing room, the slut room, and
That's-
we learn on Strip to Kill.
That's right.
Woman, there's an old bag who's out there like,
Receptionist,
Yeah.
checking people's coats, getting on the fresh
you
sheets.
see my wife, Mary Jean? You see her? This blonde woman. She was blonde, and she had green eyes, and she was beautiful.
I don't give a shit. I haven't seen the woman. If you're gonna make a ruckus, you're gonna go buckus.
Bitch, I will punch you.
Don't make me punch you, ma'am.
Then we see who we think is Mary Jean walk out. No, it's just another drugged out broad.
Straight hair, blonde, wearing the uncle's. It was the outfit that what's his name wore in
Brilliant
Rocky.
plan.
Yeah.
Brilliant plan by Mary Jean.
Yeah.
Hey, you have blonde hair. And that's what she says. She's like, you ain't Mary Jean. My wife is beautiful, blonde hair, and green eyes.
But I could be Mary Jane. Have you ever heard ASMR sandwich eating?
I'm Mary Jean. I have green eyes. I have blonde hair. I am beautiful. But you're not Mary Jean. And then he runs into the slut room, grabs Mary Jean.
Yeah, he sees Mary Jane running out the door, chases after her, catches her outside.
Grabs her. He drove all the way up. Wait, did he fly in? I guess he drove because he has his car.
He's got a station wagon, and it's got his Jesus bobblehead. It's got the wooden
Which is,
cross.
of course, the symbol of a perfect nuclear family station wagon. That's
Boom.
what a family man would drive.
And as I learned from Godzilla today, you could put your husband who has had sulfur in his eye, you can put him back there.
it's
Yeah.
Room for a sulfur dad. He grabs her, forces her into the car, hitting her head on the top of the car.
And we are in New York City, everybody. So, yeah, there's witnesses everywhere.
Right.
A lot of walkers, Murray.
Yeah, but it's New York. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
You learn from Death Wish, people be raped in front of the street and they just walk right by. They don't care. So, back when New York was good, when it was tough. Thanks, Giuliani.
How tough were the bagels back then? Like, did you have to have iron
Did you
teeth?
break your teeth?
Yeah.
So, we go back to her apartment. She's clearly a narcissist. Her walls are covered with pictures of herself.
They were of her. Okay.
Yes. Well, there were some other ones, but mostly of her.
Okay,
I
okay.
did notice, call out to maybe another future, this is on this warning you tribunal pervs, Maybe another future sex thriller month. I did notice a Shannon Tweed Playboy picture on the wall because she's the queen of Skinemax. So he's like ready to take her home. She's like, I'm not leaving. This is my new life.
Yeah.
I'm an actress.
I've got all kinds of directors calling me. In fact, I got to go check my messages right now.
Well, first he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna show you what you're missing out on. Pulls out a gigantic film projector.
Yeah. Which did he bring that, or was it in her place and he just
No,
brought
he
a reel?
He brought it.
He brought the
She
whole
left
fucking
that behind.
thing.
She didn't care at all about it.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
He's like, I'm gonna show you what you're missing out on.
So we cut to the next scene. She is strapped to a chair with an apparatus holding her eyes open. Yes,
Clockwork
this
Orange
is
style,
where Kubrick got the idea.
No, it came out about 10 years after Clockwork Orange, but yeah.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Whoops.
We see a little boy dressed up like a cowboy. They're from God Country, man, Oklahoma.
That's right.
And she's just like, I don't give a fuck. That's your boy. That's your baby.
He came from your vagina.
And she's like, look, things are moving for me. Yeah, you just found me in some shithole porno thing, but things are clicking for me. I'm going to be a star,
right.
all right? Not now. I'll come back for you guys. I'll bring you. I'll move you to New York. When I'm a big star.
Yeah, I'm just. This is the first step to being the next Marilyn
It
Monroe.
always works out that way. You start in porn, you become a superstar.
Exactly.
Go for Marilyn Chambers.
Exactly.
So she just throws the projector down and is like, "Look, I'm waiting to hear from a director right now. I'm going to check my message service. I never realized this is like our 10th movie that's had people checking their message service.
Always messages, man. Always.
And then as she's talking, she looks outside, sees a marquee, film festival, Christopher Neville. And then she's like, puts two and two together because they're like, no messages for you, ma'am. And she's just like pretending she's still talking.
Yeah, this is where the dubbing's very easy because they were like, talk to the wall, face away from the camera here.
And she's like, Christopher Neville called for me. He wants to meet me for a meeting.
3 times. Ugh, Chris, calm down.
And then she hangs up and she's like, see, I'm going to be in the next Christopher Neville. That porno director. I can't stand that filth. And she's like, you don't have, what did she say? If you didn't have a retarded imagination?
Well, he starts coming down. Because she's like, don't you know who Chris Neville is? Yeah, he does that porn stuff. Porn isn't acting. Well, it is if you got no imagination like you. You got that retarded imagination. Excuse me, everybody.
And I don't know. I just want to say, Griff sounds exactly like the dubbed voice. That's how
Thank
bad
you.
it was.
Thank you.
And we learned that he's such a prude. He would erase the dirty words off the bathroom wall at their school.
Yeah, she's like having flashbacks to high school when, of course, they got hitched and had their kids.
He knocked her up.
He
at
knocked her up.
16, and then,
They might have planned it for all we fucking know.
No.
Down in the South, they do fucking crazy
he
shit.
trapped her. He was like, this is the best I'm going to do. And so he knocked her off.
Friday Night Lights, you don't think they had a football game? She's like, fuck me in the back of your station wagon? You know that's where that kid was conceived.
This guy's a drip. He's a loser. And he's like, pack your bags, woman. We're going back to Oklahoma. So as she's doing that, he rips up this pornography that she has on her wall.
All of this goes against our Lord.
While he's doing that, she goes, yoink, takes the station wagon keys out of his pocket, puts them in her pocket.
Where are you going into the bathroom for? Where are you going into the...
Gotta drop a deuce before I leave.
I thought you said you didn't poop. Who are you?
He's learning a lot about
Well, look, Southern men don't know anything about women. Women poop, Murray. They fart too.
They queef.
They...
So...
That's my favorite Margaret Atwood book. Women queef.
They queef.
They queef.
So she goes to take a shit. In parentheses, quotation mark, shit.
Yeah.
And she sneaks out the window.
Of course she does.
Jumps in the
Station wagon.
And she's just like, I wasn't at a Chris Neville party. I was outside once. I know where he lives.
Yeah.
So why not? Why not to see what happened?
Did you notice what that vanity plate was?
I did not notice they had a vanity plate.
IPRS H-I-M. I purse him. It's supposed to be I praise him. Man, Keith is lame as shit. Dude needs a little New York in his life. Lighten up, Keith.
So she goes to Chris Neville's pad.
And that comes from a good Christian boy.
He apparently owns a building. I mean, he must be making some good money, man.
I mean, look at that block, though. It looked like it was a district of Detroit where it's just
he's
like...
gentrifying. He's in the process of gentrifying.
Oh, he's gentrifying the fuck out of this place.
And she hits the buzzer. And she's like, "Can I talk to Christopher Neville? I was at the I was outside the party.
You didn't let me in, but she picked up a newspaper, found out he was throwing a party. He advertised a party he was throwing in the newspaper. Yep. That's what sets up some of the shit we're about to see here. And I didn't understand that at first because I was like, what the fuck is going on in this house?
Yeah, you just thought he liked to eat a lot of food.
I just thought he liked to have a buffet of food constantly out at the ready for him.
So he buzzes her in. He's like, why not? You know,
I'm a lonely man.
Yeah, I want to get laid.
Yeah.
She walks in. All right. Can we talk about Christopher Neville's decor?
We could spend 4 days on Christopher Neville's decor.
He first the entranceway is a tribute to Rainforest Cafe. It's just jungle vines, macaws, cockatiels.
I feel like even before we got to that, there was like the Warhol hallway where it was like neon Marilyn Monroe shots and shit. Rainforest Cafe.
There's like...
Which was like 2 stories tall, too.
What was going on in the pool? Because there's 2 pools.
There's 2 pools.
What was going on? They're small. In the Rainforest Cafe one, was it just full of algae, or was there a green light being projected?
Green light. It was
okay.
green light. Yeah.
I didn't know if it was just filthy.
But he likes to artist it because Neville, as we're about to learn, he's a botanist, man. He loves his plants. He loves his flowers.
He loves his flowers.
He's a rose guy, which is lame as shit. Come on.
Yeah, all the outside windows are stained glass rose.
Stained glass rose.
He even has stained glass windows laying against a wall. They're not even in the fucking frame.
Right.
But you love
and Larry Cohen really liked that one shot where it was like metal mesh with the backlight, and he really liked waving the camera. Yeah, to make that weird
and
effect.
Then there's tubs of like lasagna.
Mastacholi, and she is just hands deep in it. Like, oh fuck, this is rich.
So here's the thing.
She's been surviving on leek tea, by the way.
Yeah, that's why she's so gaunt.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fiber, but there's not a lot of
yeah.
carbs. You know?
It's not the Ozempic, people. It's the leek tea.
So here's the thing. Larry Cohen, obviously low-budget director. There's no way he set dressed this. This had to be somebody's apartment. Who the fuck lived in this apartment?
I know. I really want to know this. Like, hey, I got the Blu-ray. Maybe there's a fucking director's commentary that talks about it.
But yeah, it's tacky, I guess.
Oh, but by the way, I did go out and buy the Blu-ray of this. So your suggestion...
Well, we couldn't find it anywhere. But.
It weighs heavy, you know?
So, and his bedroom, red walls. He literally has lighting, professional lighting above his bed.
Yeah, we haven't made it to the bedroom yet. But, yeah, that is one of the rooms. Corridors on corridors, tight hallways. One side is just full of mirrors, and the other side is just like weird ravens or something.
There was like a ceramic hand in a glass case.
Yeah. Again,
I usually loved Addams Family. I don't know what that was, but
I love this kind of shit though. Like we love
it looks like somebody vomited a Spencer's Gifts into a house.
It's disgusting as fuck, but at the same time, when you're going through it, you're just like.
But it fits the character of Christopher Neville.
Oh my God. Bogosian, man. I love this man. I feel like Bogosian would live here. Is that his name? Am I pronouncing that? Is this
Eric Bogosian?
Bogosian. I thought it was another Clooney situation.
Yeah.
I thought it was Clooney. I watched the movie. I thought they said Clooney in the movie. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. That's the sad thing. I know it better than you do. This isn't a bit, people. This is Griff. This is pure unadulterated Griff.
Matt Soshi can attest to this.
Clooney. All right, so I hope that's in Griffins in July. We get some Clooney.
Oh,
so
maybe
if Donald Sutherland had the decency to die a little earlier, we could have been doing Clute right now. But excuse me, Clooney. All right, so he's got like an editing machine. He's like watching the Zapruder film. This is what annoyed me because he's talking about
What's the
Zapruder.
Zapruder film?
That's JFK, the shot.
Okay,
JFK
okay.
Kill. He's watching Jack Ruby kill Lee Harvey Oswald.
Okay.
So I don't know why he keeps bringing up Zapruder because it's not the Zapruder film. It's later on.
It would take somebody who's investigated this. You were all excited
I
with
didn't
Trump.
investigate. I knew this.
When you were all excited, you came in here tits hard like, oh, fucking Trump's releasing those fucking JFK files.
Right, I want to know. Grassy Knoll.
Grassy Knoll.
So he's watching the Harvey Oswald assassination, and she walks in on that. And she's a dipshit from Oklahoma. She doesn't know fuck all from anything, even though she should know. Texas was the reason the president's dead.
Thank you, Danzig.
But they start talking about what is real, what is fantasy. There's no difference between a real death and a make-believe death when it's on film.
That's
it's the
right.
Same thing. They're getting really deep.
You got to remember.
Well, this is the shit he pulls out on girls to think he's deep.
I was just going to say, this is how Neville gets women. Because, I mean, he does work cool shit. He's a fucking director. He does put shit.
He loves scarves.
He loves his scarves. He loves his turtlenecks. And he loves wet, tight, fucking little jerry curled kind of hair.
Guy with a perm. You gotta
Perm.
watch ladies.
Perm.
Never trust a man with a perm.
Never.
You got that from your Uncle Tim. Don't trust him.
You might like that Idol song. There's a lyric in an Idol song, never trust a man with a perm.
It's true.
There you go.
I'm sure I was surprised he didn't say that was his film that he was watching. Even though it's like, public domain, everybody knows it. But he drops a little more tidbit. He's like, have you ever had an experience and then remembered you really saw it in a movie?
Yeah.
He's just trying to get all deep on her and shit.
Yeah. I'd be surprised he didn't name drop Mandela effect or some other kind of shit,
Yeah.
Or tell her his place is haunted. Right. Like really get into her fucking head.
So she's like, what's the deal? As she's chomping on a handful of mozzarella, she's like, what's the deal with this food here?
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself. She's still Mary Jean. So he's like,
she's supposed to be Oklahoma, but
what's
she's...
the deal with all this food here? I declare, I'm getting the vapors from you.
What do you call this dish here?
It's shit. It's all shit.
Why don't you go downstairs and put me up a fucking bowl of that shit? Because I'm hungry. No one showed up to my elaborate party.
You know what? Let's get naked and have some champagne. So they're there. They're in the Rainforest Cafe tub, canoodling. They're nude. Well, he's got a towel.
He's got a towel on. She's sitting naked on a towel,
He's
like kind of.
cockshy.
Yeah. But she's got a mastacholi coated hand holding her wine glass.
I didn't think she did, like you said, just washing her hands. She just puts it in the tub, like the
pool.
The pool that they're in.
They're next to.
Well, I think they got their feet in it, don't they?
No, they're they're looking over into the pool. This is your algae pool too that you were all excited about.
I was excited about it.
You were fucking excited about it.
I was disgusted by it.
But yeah, they're just talking it up. I don't remember. Did they talk about anything interesting? Because they're just giggling, laughing, having a good time. He's asking her like, "Oh, are you an actor?" She's like, "Yes."
Yeah, and so he's setting her up. He's like, "Well, I got a new project. I think you'd be perfect for her."
We're about to learn in a little while that Neville, of course, he's a
audition you first.
He's a veteran detective director. He's a New Yorker, like you said. He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
Quotes.
Takes no shit.
Yeah. So he knows how to work a girl. He knows how to use his power. He knows how to Weinstein.
Well, yeah, that's how he gets laid, by saying I'm a director and I can put you in a film. And she's obviously desperate to be in a film.
I guess I shouldn't go full Weinstein because he's well. Anyways.
He doesn't force himself.
He doesn't force him. No. He
manipulates.
Yeah, he manipulates.
So he's like, all right, you finish up that champagne. I'm getting the fuck room ready. The audition room.
Don't come in until I tell you, because he's setting it up like it's a scene.
Yeah.
And I love this about a character we meet later who calls him out on this shit.
Okay. So he goes to his room, like you say, it's professional lighting above his bed. He's like working, dimming, like in the right,
Please describe his red room a little more.
Well, we've learned this from last week's Obsession. All great artistes
of sleaze.
Excuse me, erotica sleaze of erotica.
Thank you.
Must have some kind of vessel of water in their room, like George did from Obsession, Taste for Fear.
And it has to be bubbling.
Of course.
And I know that it's like
Of course, ours is because it's acid.
acid naturally bubbles. By the way,
it does.
we don't do anything to it. It just sits in its vat.
It's like a witch's cauldron.
It really is.
So yes, you need a body of water near you at all times. Because like I've always said, like that's why I'm a true artist. Griff. I like it wet.
Yeah.
You still need to learn that. You still like it dry. You must have wetness around you at all times.
Oof. That's the hardest part about living in Michigan during the humid season is that you walk out and moisture just coats you. Yeah. It's the hardest thing.
So he's got a little like room off to the side where he's got a film projector set up because he's got it all worked out. It's all on a remote.
He's got the big two-way mirror set up.
Yeah.
And so it's like based on the lighting because he can turn the light behind the two-way mirror. You can see there's a camera. Right. And we're talking about fucking, a real camera. So it's noisy as fuck. Right. He didn't think that one through as we're about to learn.
Yeah. Well, he does have an excuse we'll get into. But yeah, so he set it all up. All right, I'm ready.
Get in here for your audition.
We got to point out, he's a romantic. Put some rose petals and a few roses on the pillow.
We do see him pick up menacingly, like his little shears, and cut off a rose to, put there. So, yeah.
And then she comes in, and she just hops in the bed. She's like, I've been in New York for 2 weeks. I know how it goes.
Yeah. Do we need all these lights?
Things in the dark don't happen, baby.
Next, you're going to tell me that I have to fuck with my eyes open.
So she's just like, all right, I guess if this is how I get my big break, I'll fuck you. So, like, she's grudgingly going along with it.
She really is. She's just kind of, this is something she's learned about New York, apparently.
Yeah.
Fake it till you make it. Because she's just like, yeah, you're doing great.
Isn't that the ultimate acting?
We
learn the whole premise of this movie, what is real, what is fantasy.
Good point.
Mix the two.
Good point.
So she's like, all right, give it to me, big guy. Ooh, I love your big cock.
Oh, you have a pectoral muscle that I am into.
And she's like, hey, what the? Don't worry, it's air conditioning. That ain't no air conditioning. I've heard of air conditioning. I'm from Oklahoma. I've heard of it. And I heard it don't make that kind of noise. Are you filming me, you sicko? I was like, what if I am? I need some audition material here.
I give you a fucking copy of it. You're gonna love to see my fucking night moves.
And she's just like, oh my god, I don't even want to be in your movie now. You're such a fucking loser. She just hits his fucking fragile ego.
That's right.
I heard the last movie you did bombed. Brother Voodoo with Kevin Costner.
Are you kidding me? Costner. Steve James exists, motherfucker.
And then when he heard the name Steve James, because Steve James turned him down.
That's right.
He snaps and he starts strangling her, hurling her against those roses on the pillow.
That's right. And it's the full stem and everything. And we all know, just like that song Kissed by a Rose taught us, the thorns are very sharp.
Kills her. And he just goes, that's a take.
Cut to black screen, white text. Andrea, a film by Christopher Neville.
That's why we're getting meta, people. We're like in a film within a film.
Yeah, it's intense.
So first of all, he's like, fuck, I gotta wash my DNA off this body. He fucked the body after he killed her. He's like, fuck, I can't waste this boner.
This is the Columbo opening.
Yeah.
We saw the murder happen. We see how he's cleaning it up now.
So, did you notice that the scratches magically disappeared when he just wiped the blood off them?
They would be fine. Yeah. Yeah.
It's nitpicking, but still.
Yeah.
So he washed her off in the jacuzzi. And then
the actor is doing a great job here. Try to hold still and allow him to flip her over and shit.
Good thing. And he wraps her in a bed sheet and ties her up with belts.
Oh, satin sheets. I don't know about.
And what they said, they were silk, weren't they?
Or silk. Either way. I don't know about that.
And then he's like, fuck. She scratched me. So he's got everything covered. He cleans underneath her nails, and even though I don't think there was DNA testing in '84, but still you get blood type, some circumstantial evidence you could get.
He was thinking ahead. He did a good job. That's why I have my suspicions about Neville and his way around murder. But we cut over to Coney Island.
You recognize this? This is the Warriors' turf.
It looks like the
I can't believe
Warriors.
he had the balls to go to the Warriors. They must be on the other side trying to get home. But
You know what I think is happening? I think Neville told him, you guys could be a film of yourself. And I think
he has who was the character that come out and play guy? Remember his name?
No.
He's got that energy.
Oh,
Like,
I don't.
They're like
Harry
they're brothers from
Patrick.
another mother.
Yeah.
They radiate that same kind of energy.
Patrick something.
He's probably friends with that character from the Rogues. you know?
Yeah.
And he was probably, hey, you can dump a body at the Warriors' place. Nobody will care.
I definitely think he's had a run in, and he threw. And I'm sorry, Murray, to invent this new word. That's all what we do. We're the modern Shakespeare's. He's throwing his film fog around. He's being like, "Oh, you could be in a movie."
Oh, yeah. So he leaves her body naked in the station wagon on Coney Island. It's the middle of winter. We didn't mention this yet, but Griff thinks there's more to it. I think it was just like we got to get this shit done because there's very lacking in content. This was literally filmed at Christmas time in New York because we see Christmas decorations.
Yes, we do.
But we see snow, and then literally we're in the same scene, but it's a different angle. No snow.
Yeah.
It's changing back.
If
and
you
forth.
recall our scene where Keith takes Mary Jean home, no snow. She escapes out the window, snow outside.
Right, he actually slips in the snow.
Then he gets up, and there's no snow on the car again. Like, it's all over the place.
So, all right, the perfect crime. He got away with it. Dumped it off in Coney Island. No one's going to check Coney Island.
All right, and this is where we find our Detective Columbo / Delroy and his partner Vickers.
Right, so
I work with the Vickers.
So, yes, obviously the body was found by the police. So they go to her place of residence.
And she's supposed to live alone. Andrea Wilcox, that is.
Yes, that is her whole name, Andrea Wilcox. And it's Keith. He probably got drunk, because
Well,
his sorrows.
there's bottles everywhere, so
And
that's
so he's just in his boxer shorts in her bed.
right.
They just walk. You leave the door open, so the cops just walk in. They can do that. If you leave the door open, the cop can walk in.
That's right.
And
He is fully griffing around.
They immediately go, there's a suspect right there. It's always the husband, 99% of the time.
That's right. And they're
Case
like,
closed.
what the fuck are you doing here? Did you just sleep with this woman? Did you murder her and leave her somewhere? No.
I love that woman. What are you talking about? I want to take her back home with me.
We have a child together.
Well, we got witnesses that said we saw you beat the shit out of her. I did nothing of the sort. She hit her head on the car.
Did you not hear me say we have a child together? 31 months old.
We got a 31-month-old boy. All right. Once your kid hits 1, it's by year. 31. That's 2.5. Get the fuck out of here, Keith. Fuck you, Keith. You got a goddamn toddler, for fuck's sake.
So he's given him everything he knows from the day before. Well, she's been working for this director, Chris Neville.
As he's saying that, Delroy's looking out the window and spots that marquee. It says Neville. He's like, oh, really? Neville.
And so he gives the signal to Vickers, and he was just saying, "Oh, you talked to him? What's the number? We're gonna call her messaging." So Vickers calls up to listen into the operator or whatever. Did Chris Neville call this number? No.
No messages. And they're like, looks like you're in trouble, buddy. Get dressed. We're hauling you in.
I love this because they suspect him immediately, and they're just like, "You seriously murder a woman in those fucking underwear? Those fucking bloomers you're wearing there? What the fuck's wrong with you? Not the murder, but those underwear?"
You're going to need a lawyer, kid. So he's like, well, before I leave, can I get a little tinkle? All this pressure's making my bladder full. So they're like, all right.
Well, you might as well get used to prison, so you're going to leave the door open and we're going to watch.
I can't.
I'm gun shy. You know how it is. And thankfully, Delroy is also gun shy, so he's like, all right,
I don't
let's...
want to see this guy's dick anyway.
You're going to leave a creak in the door so we can hear it, because that is soothing to me. That's my ASMR.
Thankfully. Mary Jean was into ass play. And so she had an enema hanging off the fucking shower curtain.
She just left MacGyver devices in her bathroom.
So he hooked the enema up to the sink. He was just pouring it into the sink.
And we
toilet,
sit in the hallway with Vickers and Delroy.
Like, oh, this guy Austin Powers? What the fuck? You know?
Good call. And they're like, man, this is making me have to pee. I wonder if he would mind. Well, she's dead. I could use the kitchen sink to piss in. And then they're like, nah, you know what? That's uncouth to me. I'll go see what he's done. Wait a minute.
He escaped.
He slipped out the front door.
Jumps
And
in a cab, and the cops they run out, see the cab. It's like, hands
Hands
tied.
tied.
He got away. I can't do anything about
no
this.
snow again.
Right. So his only lead is Neville. So he's like the cabbie. He's like, do you know director? It's like there's how many millions of people in fucking. I mean, at this time, 1984, there was 327,000 people. In New York City.
Okay, that's
still
it.
a lot of people.
That's a lot. And he just goes up to the cab. He's like, I need to get out of here. Oh, okay. Starts driving him away. And then he goes, well, where else do you need to go? Chris Neville? Whoa, 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 Bob, pal. You can't just be tossing that name around. He's a family friend? Oh, well, why'd you say so? Radios into the
He's like,
station.
are you sure you don't want to go to the drag shows? They're pretty fun. Hey,
Pretty cool.
What color bandana you got there hanging out of you there?
Is that a red one?
He's just like, I just want to see this Neville guy.
He's a
All right.
family
Are
friend.
you sure? Because the drag shows are pretty good in New York. No.
And they're all hours of the day, sir.
So somehow everyone knows where Neville lives. He calls it into the dispatcher. Oh, yeah, I know that place.
I thought the idea was somebody dropped him off last night because he had to drive the car to Coney Island,
Could be.
take a cab home. So they're like, the dispatcher for the cab place is just like, oh, yeah, this person, Harry Stanton. What was our fucking character's name? I don't remember. Harry Stanton. From fucking, I was reaching. I know, this is great. This is great.
Drop it. So they show up at Neville's, and he's just banging on our buzzing. Let me in, Mr. Neville. Have you seen my wife, Mary Jean? They think I killed her. You have to be my alibi.
Yeah, and so he's chiming back in. Nope, never heard of her. You see, sir, go away.
And then he grabs his camera and goes up on the roof and starts because he's all about capturing reality.
Yeah.
He's a voyeur at heart.
That's right.
So he starts because as soon as Keith turns around, Delroy's standing right there with a cop.
You really gave us a run around there, kid. For an innocent man, you run like a guilty person.
And he's like, of course you're gonna go to this guy. This is the only lead you have, you fucking dumb hick.
Heavy metal, Harry Canyon. That's what I was going for. I am so sorry, everybody.
So they arrest him. Neville's filming it all.
That's right. We're going down to the police precinct and everything. They throw him in this little fucking cavernous hallway dungeon thing they got going on. But I did notice some of their decor. They had fucking Andrea Wilcox up on that wall there. They had her fucking little calendar, flip calendar.
She's a star, man. So he thinks he's fucked, man. They're gonna railroad him, man. These fucking we learned about these crooked New York, courthouses just recently with our great president,
Yeah, the crime's through the roof, so we got to close these cases. It's always the husband. Right. Where did you say you came from, sir? Where's your accent? Oklahoma. All right, yeah, guilty.
So he's fucked, and they're like, "Hey, Keith, got somebody wants to see you."
Yeah, Vickers walks in. He's just like, you wouldn't believe this, Delroy. He's got the best lawyer in fucking town.
Jeffrey Feiger walks in, and he got fucking Dr. Death, Jack Kevorkian off for murder. He can get anybody off.
That's right. Hey, Keith, is that your name? Keith? Have you ever had a New York bagel? Go ahead. I don't know if your teeth are strong enough, but fucking chomp down on that, little boy. I'm going to tell you a fucking story right here.
He's like, I'm going to get you out today. These guys have no evidence. He's like...
Well, I did tell him some things already. You said it under distress of the police. Don't worry. I'll get you off, Kevorkian.
Why are you helping me, polling me? Because I want a movie made about me.
Dun, dun, dun. We turn to the doorway, and in is walking in his fucking coat, his turtleneck, his permed hair, scarf.
Christopher Neville.
Hey, what's up? Yo.
So the whole premise of really this movie is the allure of movies. Everybody wants to be in movies, no matter what. He's the most successful lawyer in the world. He's like, I got to be in Washington right now. I'm gonna leave you two to talk.
Yeah.
But he still wants that movie about his life that it made.
Everybody, they like again when you get to a certain point, it's just narcissism driving. It seems like half of fucking the world is just narcissism driving you.
So Neville's like, look, you're a good kid. I can see that, Keith. I may have fucked Andrea. I may not have. I don't know. Bitches come and go in my life.
You gotta understand when you're a fucking known director, that you could buy a girl a drink just to be chivalrous, and she thinks that you're dating now. She thinks you're as good as married. You don't understand. I take a girl back. I say no eye contact. I fuck her from behind, and she thinks that we're fucking, a 12-year relationship. It's insane, the pressure that's put on me.
I may have fucked your wife. I may not have. That's not important. Important is I'm interested in your story, Keith. I want to tell your story.
When I saw the cops harassing you outside of my place, I didn't call them. It's perfectly right for you to be trying to talk to me. That's fine. That's your First Amendment right. I felt sorry for you. That's why I'm here.
I want to tell the story about a mother, a young, dumb, and full of cum mother who got caught up in the rat race that is New York City, and her husband who tried to save her, but it was too late. I need this. You need this. I need you to trust me.
Right. So they go off.
Maybe we can prevent the next Andrea story.
He drives Keith off and everything because he's bailed him out. And Keith is still just not ready. He's like, what? Do you want me to be in the movie? I'm not a fucking movie star. I can't do this shit. I don't want this pinned on me. You want me to, like, do the big scene and everything? Not ready for this.
Keith, have you ever heard of a man named Dino Velvet?
No.
Well, he was a bit of a mentor of mine. And I'm going back old school. I'm going Dino Velvet 8mm. I'm going to make the greatest movie of your life story anyone's ever made.
Are
This
you?
is going to get me back into Hollywood. I need a hit.
But I can't go back to her place. I can't go back to the scene.
I just bought the fucking lease. You can do whatever you want.
But the trauma. Well, it wouldn't be traumatic. It wouldn't be traumatic if you did the murder, which you didn't, right?
Yeah, you're right about that. It's like, all right, they stop off at her place. All right, go in there, sleep it off. See you tomorrow. So, next scene. This guy, Weasley William Smith. This was the vibe I got off this guy.
I know what you're talking about. 1,000%. Baby William Smith still got a good figure, great mustache. Creep to days. I loved this man.
Grushkin.
Gruskin.
This is,
Or as I call him, Gruski.
this is Neville's. Whenever he needs some material, I'm sure all the.
We see his occupation later. Is he the man who makes film?
He's a film processor.
Yeah, he
He
processes
processes,
it.
yeah.
He has bubbling vats. I
So
thought
you
he had.
gotta remember, this is '84, no digital.
Yeah.
So it was like, that's why nobody rarely ever got naked pictures of their girlfriend back in the day, because people would have to process.
Right,
it.
exactly.
Let's get a Polaroid.
Exactly.
So it's even the great Neville, Christopher Neville, has to go through this, and 'cause I'm sure he's had some of his auditions like processed by Grushkin before.
Oh yeah. Oh, for
so
sure.
Grushkin probably thinks this is another audition tape.
This is that gatekeeping that we're talking about. Grushkin was one of the people in between.
And he's like, "You didn't watch it. I told you not to watch it." And he's like, "And you didn't sign it out. You did this all undercover." He's like, "Don't worry about it. I took care of it. Nobody knows I processed this film. Only you and me know. I heard it's a big star you got in there. I heard about the sex tape story. Kim Kardashian. Well, maybe."
Yeah, it would really be a shame if somebody, were to actually put the word out there. It's a very light, just like, hey man, what he's trying to do here, Gruski, my buddy, is trying to tell him is, hey, let me be the first one to see that tape. Because do remember, I know a lot of shit about you.
Well, see, this is the thing, though. Like you said, he's right. He's greasy as fuck. He would have watched the fucking thing. I think he did watch it.
Yeah. There's no way he did it. Curiosity to this man, I think his mustache is as potent as it is because he's full of secrets. Each one of those fucking hairs on his lip is a secret.
So Neville goes back to his apartment. He's got I get confused because it seems like he has like a studio in his house. He also has a place he goes to edit and do like film work.
I thought what it seemed like is he had his own fucking like studio that he worked out of, and then he has like his printing room in his house, which would make sense because of how laborious that would be to like fucking cut up the shit like he likes to do and process it. So I thought this made sense that he had a studio and then he had like his workroom in his house.
So he's watching to make sure that the film got. He's watching the murder, making sure it got processed, rubbing his dick.
Oh my God, there's so much dick rubbing here, guys. Yes, the 2-bowl system was in use here.
Unfortunately, he left the door open a crack, which means a cop can come in.
Well, we learned that in Arabella. Well, was it? No, it was last week's. It was oppression.
Yeah.
Obsession. Excuse me. If you leave a crack in the door, and yes, this is in the Miranda rights, you can walk in.
Well,
a cop can walk in.
And Delroy walks in. He shuts it off, and he's like, what are you doing? Nothing.
There's a little view screen. He slaps it away. Nothing guilty looking about that.
And we get a little kind of cat and mouse thing.
Yeah, he's like, man, your guards really don't understand. I just showed him this plastic badge and thought it was real. That is a good prop. Would you say it's a special effects? I hear that's your thing. And again, Columbo. He's Columboing the fuck out of this man right now.
CGI bullshit. I don't know. I'm not into it. And then Neville comes back. Well, I'm talking about making reality, making it look like it make believe.
Yeah.
That's a special effect in itself.
You got to understand. And again, Neville has just been nearly caught, so he's probably feeling frisky and everything. And now he's telling him, I'm trying to make reality look less
he thinks
reality.
He's the smartest guy in the room.
Oh, for sure. Well, that perm alone. And the turtlenecks? Come on.
And so I think Delroy heard that he's going to make like the movie.
Yeah, he has been, because he's been nosing around with the police reports and everything. He wants to get as much information.
And he's just like, I could use a
Neville.
consultant on this movie.
Yeah, Neville
Otherwise,
asked
our
him.
ears perk up. Consultant. I like the way that's.
What are you?
What does that entail?
Yeah, what are you trying to get out of me? Well, the autopsy reports and everything on Andrea Wilcox, that would really go a long way.
And I really need your insight because I know what the mind of a killer thinks.
That's
he's buttering Delroy up.
Again, this is
Delroy's like, I like the sound of that. He's like, I better have it's just my name on the shot that says consultant Philip Delroy.
Right.
That can happen.
At this point, Neville's completely feeding it to him. Delroy's not offering anything. Delroy is just listening, and Neville's realizing, I haven't quite got to him yet. So he's like, your name, credits, this, that, the other. And then he's like,
I'll even let you read the script.
You're gonna, and he hands him the script, and it's already crumpled. We know this because our notes, immediately when you bring them over, they're crumpled already. This is what our tours do, people. We just crumple them.
Not only that, I'll let you in on the dailies every day. You can see what we've shot. You can tell me what's right, what's wrong, what a real cop would do, what a real criminal would do.
You mean let me in? I'm not wanted here? Oh, you're wanted here. I need your insight, sir. Sir! I do not use that word softly. Sir, I need your input.
All right. I think I can do that. But what's the deal with all these flowers all around? What we
They're just so beautiful. But they die so quickly.
He didn't say it that dramatically. He kind of threw it out there. He's like, I don't know. They did so beautiful, but they die quickly. That's how he was. He was like, it was like an offhanded throw out.
What the fuck was that? It was such a weird thing. It was so weird. And that's why I wanted to fun it up. Because why was it so fucking weird?
Next shot. We're looking down on the floor. 1,000 headshots of aspiring actresses. He's checking every single one, scrutinizing.
I like this shot. This is just a fucking cool shot. He's walking over the faces. Think about this. Fiona Apple wrote a whole song about stepping on shoulders. He's literally stepping on faces of wannabe actresses. and no one's working for them. Nothing in this sea of faces. Keith's got one. Hey, maybe she'll work.
Well, then, or his assistant comes in. How about this Andrea Wilcox woman? So, of course, that triggers Keith because it's a picture, a headshot of his wife who's we're doing the movie of her murder.
Right. And we see him emote the fuck up. No! This isn't her!
Yeah. This Keith guy played Keith, acting his ass off, not very well, but he's emoting.
He's emoting. Yeah.
All right, we'll cut to the audition.
Yeah.
We got these girls. They're all just like, I want to be a star. Why are you smothering me, Keith? They're all just like,
oh, they're doing the line read. They got like that. But the first woman that came up was the girl that Keith ran into, the druggie. I'm Mary Jean. And she's doing her fucking promo where she's not even reading the lines. She's just going, I live with her. I also have blonde hair. I basically am her.
I have green eyes. I have blonde hair. I could play her. And while that's going on, Delroy, he's taking notes and shit. He's got wearing a beret now. He's got that fucking like megaphone thing, 1920s.
Yeah. Imagine Columbo with the beret and the fucking megaphone, and then Vickers comes in. Where the fuck are you?
You haven't showed up at work for a week.
What?
I got important shit to do, man.
Shh. We're auditioning right now. Are you fucking kidding me? You're a goddamn detective. You still cash your paychecks? What the fuck are you doing? You're a director now? Excuse me.
Maybe I know.
Excuse me. And then he shouts out. Delroy shouts out direction for the person doing a line read right then. And the woman repeats it back. And he shrugs at Vickers like, you see it.
Hollywood calls. Baby.
Hollywood calls.
Neville's like, all right, you're all trash, but maybe that's what I need.
I don't know. Maybe that's what I fucking need. Everybody just say the line together. They all say it in unison in just like a fucking dole-out tone. And he goes, fantastic, you all suck.
All right, this next scene. It clearly is the same room they're doing the auditions, but it's supposed to be. Is it supposed to be like they're at a disco, but because of budgetary?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause
100%.
It did not look like a real disco at all.
It looked like they just folded up all the chairs, moved them out of the way.
I did not see Rucker Hauer with a scarf anywhere.
Oh my God, Murray, you're making me a little sweaty when you talk about fucking Rucker Hauer in a turtleneck. We've had a heated debate with somebody on YouTube over Rucker Hauer's role.
He can go fuck himself.
That guy can fuck himself.
So Keith, come on, it's been like 3 days since Mary Jean died. Get over it. That's Neville's thing. He's like, look, we're making a movie here. We're having a good time. Fuck this chick here. She'll fuck you.
Yeah, you're young, dumb, very dumb, very dumb. You're wearing flannel with a jean jacket, very dumb. Fuck any of these broads. You'll forget about, what'd you say?
You're a fucking producer, executive producer of a movie. It works.
Seriously. Say I'm a producer. Next thing you know, there's hands grabbing your bulge. Do you have a bulge? Keith, is that the problem? Do you have a micro dick? Because if you don't have a micro dick, you're fine. You're good.
We learned he is cockshy.
He is very
cockshy.
cockshy. He's very cockshy.
Maybe that's why Mary Jean left him. And he's like projecting. No, it's because you want to be a star. Maybe you have a micro dick, Keith. That sounds like kind of a name a guy with a micro dick would have.
Keith.
So, as you said that, somebody grabs his balls. And he freaks out. Ah, don't touch me.
She lays a fat one on him. They make out a little bit. And you're like, oh, is Keith going to loosen up? No, he freaks out, pushes her away, nearly punches her. I'm going to fucking punch you in the goddamn face.
And then Neville just grabs him, puts his hands inside his face, and lays a big old smooch on him.
And Keith does nothing about it. He just looks amazed, like sir.
You don't freak out when I kiss you, Keith.
Keith, what's the deal? You don't freak. What's the deal?
Checks in the back pocket. Well, what color bandana is that, Keith?
And so we sizing Keith down, and Keith don't like it.
Look, Keith, we're gonna need Andrea's clothing. I want this as real as possible. I want the actress playing Andrea to wear her fucking clothes.
What did you do with them?
I sent them to the Salvation Army, of course.
Well, you need to go get them. Go get them back tomorrow morning. That's your task, Keith. Go get them. And that's when we see that Delroy, who, of course, he's a director now. He's pretty much an assistant director. He's lurking around the dance floor. Or is he? Because he's Columboing it. I'm
I don't
telling
think
you.
so at all.
This is a Columbo
totally,
episode.
Like you said, he's in the film fog. He's done being a cop.
Oh, here's the other angle of this movie. Film fog or Columbo? We're going to build up to that. I'm just telling
Next
people.
morning,
Think about it.
Keith heads to the Salvation Army.
He's got to retrieve that clothes, And this is the most appropriate shot I've ever seen in a fucking movie. This is what a Salvation Army looks like.
Yeah.
It's
he's
fucking
like,
hard.
He's like, he still has the receipt. He's like, oh, we haven't even processed this shit. Go out back. It's probably still in the bags. He said.
But I love the first guy he talks to, just well-intended and everything, but he gets the receipt. He's like, oh, well, we haven't processed that. Good luck. You could go talk to the people in the back.
Because this is probably, well, it is a real Salvation Army. This guy probably works at the Salvation Army.
Yeah,
And they're like, hey, you want to be in a movie?
exactly. This is why this fucking shit is so good.
Well, that's why it's meta. Because the theme is what Larry Cohen's really doing. It's letting real people play themselves.
Right.
It's mixing fantasy with reality.
And think about this. He's looking through discard piles, the things people throw away and hopefully resell and everything. But they just give them away, and he's going through the discard pile.
And this is where we meet Elaine. I barely noticed her because why? Her hair's up and she's wearing glasses. That's human wallpaper to me. I'm like, how could any woman be sexy?
Yeah.
With her hair up and glasses.
She looks like she just came out of a high executive office. She's got the button up, she's got the pencil skirt and the heels on, and Murray was just like, this is not a strip to kill set. This is not for me.
No, I'm like,
Send me an angel.
something. That should have been the song Angel Strip to and Strip to Kill.
Yeah?
But he noticed something because she looks remarkably, almost exactly, if you will,
Almost.
like his dear departed wife, Mary Jean. She just has dark hair.
That's right.
And so
He brings her the receipt, and she's just like, is this a fucking joke?
And this is where we get the
Best accent?
fingernails on chalkboard. This is like, I'm sure this is a real Brooklyn accent.
Yeah.
Lawns.
Meta
Oh
as
my-
fuck, people.
Oh, she's like, hey, you dropped this off, and then she like, I think he's like, hey, you ever thought about being in movies or anything?
Yeah, okay.
And she's like, look, I got no time for this. And when I'm not here working the Salvation Army, I'm teaching the kids in Harlem this new math, and she's going on all this. Like,
New math. I love that idea. New math.
well, there was a thing. I don't remember.
Probably a new curriculum or something.
I'm pretty sure.
We discovered
You
algebra.
probably did do new math because this probably was different than what I.
Well,
learned.
no, but it's the same math. It's just a different approach.
Well,
it's
why
not like
called new math. No
Okay,
shit.
okay.
Yes, 2 + 2 always equals 4, Griff. You're right. But so she's like doing all
Clody.
She's doing all this humanitarian shit that you would be proud if your daughter did this shit.
Oh yeah.
But no, it's about the movies, man.
She's a rich girl. She does throw that line out there. She's like, I'm well off. What do you want me
I'm
to
giving
do?
back to the community. Hey, by the way, and then she whips this out. Ever been to Amsterdam?
You ever been to
You like smoking
Amsterdam?
the weed?
You're a little bit of verklempt. I would like you to go to
I
Amsterdam.
got this great timeshare.
Do you got fucking $4,000 in your pocket right now? Because that'll get you Amsterdam. And he's got a smile on his face. He's kind of enjoying this conversation.
He was like, look, I got a friend you need to see. And she's like, what do I got no time for this stuff. And he's like, no, trust me. You're going to want to talk to this guy. Did he mention Christopher Neville or he just as a friend?
No, we just cut over to Neville being intercepted on his way into the studio, his where he actually films everything. He's intercepted by Gruskin.
Speak, freak.
Well, everyone's been talking about your film. It's so good. The actress you have in it, who is she? I might know.
I know I said I didn't watch, but once I saw the rose on the pillow, I had to watch.
So you know about the ending. Oh, is that the ending?
How did you like it?
Yeah, that was his line.
Too
You
violent.
know about the ending?
Was it too violent for you?
Oh, for me? No, I could have used it a little bit more.
So Neville's like, shit, I got to take care of this fucking guy. He's almost looking forward to it because he loves murdering now.
What? Now? That was what I was insisting earlier. Like, I don't know. This Neville character.
So
All
he
right.
goes in. They're getting her to look all whored up like Mary
Elaine,
Jane
that
looks
is.
like. So her hair's getting dyed that porn star yellow.
That's right.
And
Keith sitting there just watching, chewing his nails, like, oh my God, my wife is right there.
And Neville's like, you think Neville will be happy? And he's just like, because she looked identical to Mary Jane. He's like, what the fuck? What are you bringing me?
What? The first thing, there's a nose in the room. I see a nose.
I know that fake nose. I know, sister.
Steinberg down on 43rd Street.
Actually, it's Rosenbrook down on 52nd Street.
Ah.
So now he found her out, and he's just like, look, the Quasimodo posture, the fucking chewed up nails, you're going to be awful. And she starts doing some hand gestures like, is that Drago shit? Are you bringing Drago shit to my studio?
Keith, who the fuck is this woman? I do not fuck with Drago bitches.
So you got to remember, 1984. Young guy on the scene, Billy Drago, introduced the world of acting to hand act.
That's right. That's
It was
right.
a new thing. It never been done before.
Neville actually saw Drago when he was doing one-man plays, and he was playing whole characters with just hand gestures. It was incredible.
Yeah, right.
And Neville was just like,
He actually had a Broadway play called Shadow Puppets.
That's right.
Yeah.
Neville refused it. He threw tomatoes at him constantly.
He couldn't grasp it.
Couldn't
That's
grasp
why.
it.
So he just immediately rejected it.
Because special effects and real effects, man. He can't
Right.
separate the two.
So he is on edge. He's like, I can't work with this fucking bitch.
I want now. Listen closely to director Neville. I'm a real fucking monster in the backstages. Wait until I direct you up for the fucking film. I'm gonna get real freaky.
And then,
I want blonder hair, red nails, teeth. Get the teeth right. The eyes not retarded enough. Sorry to use that word again, everybody. This is Neville speaking here. I want dumb. Think Southern.
speaking of dumb, Keith perks up. Well, how'd you know she had her nails were this way?
That's so weird. How did you know? Kid, I saw the autopsy. I'm speaking like you. You're a little too infectious for me. I fucking hate it.
So now we need a little tender scene because remember he bailed on his. I guess grandma and grandpa are taking care of little Jimmy
Yeah.
home in Oklahoma City.
The whole thing is getting a little too real. He's getting a little too close. He's freaked out by Neville. He's freaked out by the
What
scene.
it is he's getting lost in the film fog.
Yeah.
So he's got to go back to it. He's got to like, why am I here?
He's got to ground himself.
Exactly.
He's got to touch grass.
Right.
But yeah, he's seeing his wife coming back to life. He's hearing how his wife. He's getting way over his head. So yeah, he goes back, finds a payphone. Delroy's following
Little
him.
Jimmy, I promise I'll be back in time for Christmas, my little boy, my little 31-month-old boy. Are you 32 months old now? It's been so long since I've seen you.
Can you put mommy on the phone?
She can't talk to you now, Jimmy. She can't talk, but she loves you.
Could you put her ear to the phone so she can hear my cowboy bangers?
I'll do that for you.
Pacow, pacow, pacow.
Meanwhile, Delroy's watching that. He's like, what the fuck's up with this guy?
What is happening? All right, we're cutting over to Neville. He's walking into Gruskin's shop. We don't know it's Gruskin's shop. We just know it's a fucking weird place with giant vats of shit. And then we see a mustache and a wife beater, big old fucking panther tattoo, snake, serpent, dagger. He was in the war.
Real badass. Real New York tough guy. And we
He is eating 3 bagels at the same time.
Neville pulls out switchblade, starts twirling around menacingly, and he's like, no, this has been done before.
Yeah, he literally says into the camera, too cliche.
So we see Grushkin, he's like working on some shit, and then all of a sudden from behind, Neville grabs some film. Is this film this strong? You could literally slice someone's throat with it?
I have a hard... I mean, he does grab several strips, so it would help, but man, I don't know about that.
He strangles Grushkin with it.
So
and
much so
slashes
it's...
his throat,
Yeah, it cuts into his throat while he's strangling him, so it's... Yeah,
killing him.
yeah. Now that's fresh. That was his line. That was Neville's kill line.
All right. This was a... Oh, my God. This was a hard scene for me to get through.
I know. But this again, this only.
And you know, one thing me and Griff love to talk, we love to talk about contract signings.
Contract
It's
signings.
our favorite thing about professional wrestling.
And the other
and
thing,
movies.
and the other thing we like talking about is fine dining. But this, people, is not a number 1 of New York. This is number, I don't know, 8.
It's Mario's. And this is where Neville brings his new ingenues, his new starlets to impress them.
That's right.
And so Elaine shows up, and she's not that impressed. And he's feeling, he's like, fuck, I got to win her back.
Well, she is a New Yorker herself. She is highfalutin. She gets
Right.
around.
She's
She's gone to Vinny's.
Yeah.
She's heard at
She's
Vinny's
gotten
show.
into Vinny's without a reservation.
Right. Exactly. And when you are on
They
a
make this special parm nacho
Dude.
salad for her.
Yeah, I know that woman, and she's got to fucking clean up her lip. And you know what that means? Meatball queso sandwich. And god damn, I could only imagine how that woman's feeling after that. Talk about queefs.
Do women fucking, when they have to eat something that's really gassy, they fart from both ends?
No, that was kind of more, if you want to talk about a woman, like, oh, woman queef? Like, listen, like, be around when they eat a queso meatball sandwich.
I don't know if I want to.
Jesus Christ. Because that will hurt any gastro system.
So he's like losing her. He's like, what can I do? Okay, I know. I'll do my tight 5-minute set on Mario.
Right, he's reenacting all the commercials. He's like, ho, 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 I am the meatball man. You come to me when you want the spaghetti.
You know, what he's doing is the most awful version of Robin Williams riffing I've ever heard.
Oh, it is. It's so painful. And again, Larry Cohen going full meta with this scene because you're watching this and you're just like, this man has never fucked in his life. He has had so many glasses of wine thrown in his face. He's had broken bottles shoved into his throat, but he has never fucked because that was awful.
He's never had to talk to a woman to fuck them because he always uses the film fog.
Good call.
That's
Yeah.
what it is. He's had sex. Obviously, we've seen him.
Yeah.
But that's why. And she's like, you don't talk to people. You just do routines.
Yes. See, this is what I was talking about her. I was alluding to it. I was Elaining to it. Elaine is a New Yorker herself, and she's like, the fuck's your deal? Like, you're this weird. So she's got the ick about him. But at the same time,
Film fog.
film fog. People, I know we've never brought this up for you before, but we know what's out there. The film fog.
And she's like, I heard you like special effects. But how about this special effect? And then we get a zoom in on her. There, I can see the wire, okay? You didn't fool me, Larry. But her ears wiggle. And
That's
it's supposed
right.
to be like, I don't know, endearing or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's her special effect, I don't know. She's bringing it back to Drago. She's trying to slowly work him into the Drago because she was doing it herself. It's natural.
And then that's going on. A familiar face from Neville's past walks in. Chad.
Ooh, wearing his velvet,
Like
was
a
it?
green velvet suit.
Yes, he's got crazy hair just all over the place. Oh, hello. Oh, who is this? He's staring into fucking Elaine, just looking her up and down, drinking her in.
Being passive aggressive. He's like, Neville, how's that latest movie doing?
Yeah,
He
you
knows
re-
it bombed.
You find any fucking people for this new movie you're talking about? Anybody who's actually gonna fucking, pay to distribute it? Oh, I've only.
Yeah, 'cause what he alludes to basically is he used to be Neville's agent, and then he moved on up, and now he's running his own studio. And he's like, got any buyers for that new film? I mean, I don't have the time for it. I
Yeah.
get so many movies.
'Cause
I got binders full of movies.
Think this is like a canon film industry, or he's got like his own canon film, so he could distribute the movie. But he's just like, I don't know. There's people lined up around the block waiting for me, and I don't have time for you. So Elaine starts feeling the pity. She's in the film fog now. She's in the pity fog,
He pulls out the contract. Don't read it. Just sign it.
and she goofily closes her eyes and goes, film fog, people, careful.
All right, now the first day of shooting. Keith, talk about pity parties.
Dude, yeah, we're down in the subway, and we just see Elaine fully Andrea'd out, running along the subway with Keith Standard.
No,
It-
not Keith Sanders. This guy is playing himself. He's playing a guy.
Oh, you're right.
Who dated.
You're right. I'm so sorry.
So yeah, so like I said, this is very meta. This is actually doing a scene that happened in real life where she just fucked some random dude who I think was an actor as well.
Yeah.
So there and then Keith shows up because he wasn't told to be on set.
Because they knew this would upset him.
Right, because it's going to be like a makeout scene. And so as
More
soon
the
as,
second base,
As
people.
soon as Neville sees, he's like, "Get the camera on that guy over there." He's
Yeah.
like, "Well, what about the? No, put the camera on Keith."
Yeah, it's a multi-camera shot. So he goes over to one camera guy. He's like, "Can you make sure to get that?" He's like, "Oh, dude, I'm already on him." And so sure enough, as the scene's
Keith's immediately pouting and shit.
yeah, as the scene's playing out, you get the Neville's assistant just staring dagger. She's like sweating for the audience because she's like, "Why is Keith here? He's not gonna like this at all." Even she's got Keith figured out. And sure enough, they finish their little run. They're like hugging on each other, and then they start making out. And then this guy, he doesn't go under the sweater, but he does go over the sweater.
I don't think this hasn't happened yet because Keith interrupts the scene, or the scene ends, and he wants to talk to the actor. And then he's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Well, I dated Andrea. I didn't really date her. We fucked once.
Yeah.
It was no big deal.
Don't worry about it. She gave me her number.
We had no feelings.
Yeah.
I just banged her. I came on her face, but don't worry about
She
it."
gave me her number. It was a fake number for the theater across the street from apparently where she lived. No big deal.
All I remember about her was she's proud she didn't have stretch marks. And then that's just fucking. Then they continue filming, and this is where it gets to.
Yeah, this is where we're getting all the tension and everything. This is where we're getting the fucking over the sweater second base. So I don't know what this means. Like you stole second, but it was a foul ball, so you had to go back to first base or something. I know my baseball
That's
metaphors.
Too much. You can't knead a titty in front of Keith. Expect him not to flip. So he punches the fucking guy. And like, all right, calm down. Neville cools the scene down. He's like, "Hey, everybody, take 5.
And we cut back over. We're clearing out the scrum, and we're slowly fading away from the scene, and we're fading back in to Keith back at Andrea's place.
Yeah.
And he's shirtless. He's got his pants on, and he's a muscular dude. He's got that stringy muscle. And Elaine comes over to confront him. I don't remember. Did he call her over, or did she just come over?
I think he called her over.
I think he did, yeah.
And she's like, "What's wrong with you here? What's wrong with you? We're doing a movie here. What's going on?" And he's like, "I think your anger has something to do with me." And
He admits it. He's like, "Well, a little bit. Oh, well, I'm a little terrified of you, but I'm also a little turned on by you."
kind of scared me. Like, maybe you did kill your wife.
Well, let me explain. No, I don't want you to explain. I just want to feel.
And then we get into No, Maddie. No sweets and scale.
No, we don't need that. You can get the Vuvuzuela out because it's nothing.
What was he makes? Why was he making a real scene of taking his necklace off?
I don't know. They've done nothing to make that significant.
It
But
happens again, and it has no payoff.
yeah,
But yeah, and because he's from Oklahoma, he keeps his cowboy boots on, but he's totally naked.
Yeah.
And then we get this awful fucking song playing, least fuckable music of all time.
do you want me to look that up? Do you want to
If you
hear?
could, if you want to just kill the boners and everyone listening right now.
I could swear I've seen you around somewhere before. Where do I know you from? Yeah, the names are tough, but I could never forget a face. It's a little bit tight in here, my dear. But when I'm in between you and me, and there's some memories I can hardly breathe. So maybe we should slip away from here, my dear. 'Cause when I look at you, I touch the second chances that I'll never get from her. And I know it's just a phase, but just the same. La da da da.
friends, we didn't even have to instruct you. You just knew instinctually when you heard that song to go ahead, get that old fucking rag out and wipe all the peck jelly off your dick. Cleanse your dick of peck jelly.
That was the cool off moment.
That was the cool off moment. That was not a sexy song, and if you watch the scene, oh wow, not sexy at all.
Well, that song didn't help.
And the necklace.
When
How
you
does
get a nipple suck? You don't see that a lot in like regular movies.
You know, Murray. What honestly, it reflect.
Do you think he went for it, or they talked about it beforehand? Like, I'm gonna suck on your nipple. Is that okay?
I think they talked about it. I hope they. I want to believe.
I don't think so because nowadays definitely, but I think '84 he's just gonna go.
He might have just gone for it and been like, "I'm just getting into the character."
Right. Yeah.
Like yeah. There's got to be a level of respect when you're fucking getting that intimate. But it looked like, come on, we talked about how Neville has all the fucking macaws and cockatoos and all that shit. He looked like one of them, just latching onto her nipple there. We just watched the scene, by the way. We walked away. We also had to clean off our dicks.
Relive that song. Make sure it is as bad as we remember.
It is as bad. It is unromantic. And Sweetson, I'm so sorry we dragged that fucking Art Mattingly. I'm so sorry we had you dragged the Sweetson scale out of the
We'll
basement.
probably for next week's if I know what we're doing next week.
Do you know what we're doing? Because I told you one thing.
I know. And it's that movie. We're definitely going to need it, probably.
Oh, well.
I've never seen that movie, but knowing you.
Oh, okay.
Anyway. Next day, Delroy is like, hey, I got some shit I want to talk to you, Neville. And Neville's just walking, he's like, I'm done with this fucking guy. I need to get to my film.
Right.
And he's just like, hey, did Delroy bring up the details of the murder, or did Neville ask about the details? Because they reveal that she had soapy water on her body.
Yes, Delroy starts asking about some of the details. And again, this is him. Murray, audience, please. Friends, listen to me. This is him going full Columbo here. The soapy body was a very interesting take on her. Well, and this is Neville speaking. Well, I saw the autopsy report. I saw that there was soap on her body, and whoever killed her, tried to wipe her down. Oh, that's really interesting that you knew about that.
So Neville, he's done with this guy.
But what about the red room? Oh, well, that's just artistic taste. And the pink's silk sheets, artistic take as well. That's just me. That's me being an auteur.
But he's getting annoyed. He's like, this guy's bothering me. I'm getting away with this murder, goddammit. And I want to do my film.
Well, this is when Delroy gets full fucking in his face. Columbo trying to really stick his nose into the business. Well, sir, just one more thing. I have some notes. A little bit of punch up for your movie.
I punched up your script. And then Neville just goes, you know what? You're overstepping your boundaries, okay?
Yeah.
This is my movie. You're just a consultant.
You're still required to be on, in the set, but you can't be on the sound stage. So basically what he's saying is you can't be there when I'm filming the scenes.
You lost your privileges.
Yeah. But you are still going to be watching all the fucking film I work on in a day.
All right. We're back on the set. This is the final scene. The murder scene, if you will. This is the scene where the whole idea is he is going to incorporate the film of him killing Mary Jean. He's going to splice
It's the reenactment, essentially.
Well, no, it's not the reenactment because I thought what he was doing is they're just going to have Elaine and Keith just think they're just going to have a sex scene, but this is to Neville. This is the murder scene, so he needs to have it line up. So it's like he's going to film a sex scene. They think it's a sex scene.
Okay.
And then he's going to splice in the murder scene into it. That's what I thought was happening.
Okay.
That's the whole point, right? He wants to put this reality, because it is reality, the murder, into his fake film.
Right, but I thought they had to have they need the optic of Keith committing the murder. So he's reenacting the full scene
I thought that was they were setting that up for later.
for later. When?
I don't know. This movie's so meta, it gets confusing.
Okay. Because I thought the whole idea.
You might be right. I'm not saying I'm right. I don't know.
It's interesting when I think on it because now Keith is heavily involved in the movie, and he was like weird about being in the movie, but now he's into Elaine, and now he wants to be around Elaine, and Elaine looks like his late wife, who wasn't that into him, but this woman's into. It's so fucking weird to think about all this. It's very ginty, and I don't like that part about it.
All I know is they're getting ready for the sex scene. And remember, all good old micro penis Keith.
He's gun shy.
He's just like,
He's-
I don't like when all these people are here. And like Neville's rolling his eyes. I get it. Everybody off the set, I'm filming this.
Yeah.
It's just the three of us.
Don't worry, guys. It's gonna be cool. We gotta do this. So
As he's doing that, he's saying that Neville puts a rose down on the pillow.
he's instructed to, isn't he?
No, Neville does it.
Oh, Neville. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Keith's like, I wouldn't put a rose on a pillow. What are you doing? He's like, it's for aesthetics, symbolism. Anybody?
We know this is really out of Keith's ballpark, by the way, because they're on set right now. We just got to see how he, quote unquote, made love to Elaine. Murray, do you remember that detail you threw in there?
No, I don't.
Keith never takes his, survey says,
Necklace off?
cowboy boots off.
Okay, he does take his necklace off. Because he takes it off again in this scene. No payoff, by the way, for that.
No.
We're pointing a detail out that has no payoff.
Right. This is us. This is us. This is what you made of me and Murray. We constantly note every fucking detail. He takes his necklace off, but in this scene, what's really interesting is he takes his cowboy boots off, which we know Keith does not do. He's not a footman at all. He hates feet. His own feet, even.
He's wearing tube socks.
Well, yeah.
And even Neville's like, take those fucking tube socks off. Who wears
That's right.
tube socks when they're fucking? Everybody in 80s porn wore tube socks while they were fucking.
Exactly.
And it is unattractive.
It is. It's awful.
Yeah.
For a male to
For a
be
man, yeah.
for a man to be wearing tube
Woman
socks.
could, but not a man.
Women can pull off everything. That's why you're the beautiful, sex in our world.
Right. So they start going at it.
He gets under the fucking awful silk sheets, and then you see him like scurry out of his tighties.
And then, you're right. I think we're supposed to be in the mind of Neville.
Yes.
Where we're cutting back from him fucking her and Neville murdering Mary Jean.
It's a throwback to that fucking Oswald murder scene, where he's looking through the film, because it's like, what's reality and what's not? Like, they're really blurring that line. They're having fun with the meta of this all. So you hear Neville directing them and kind of instructing him to recreate the murder scene. Right. And that's why I was saying he's filming Keith in the murder scene. Because he's already got the shots of the original murder scene. And so he wants to splice that together. And then when it comes out, it's Keith.
Okay. All right. So Keith can't get it up or whatever. So he snaps at Neville and they just end the scene. Cut to the studio. Neville is I think he's thinking of how he's going to splice in what he just filmed today with the strangulation scene.
Yeah.
He's watching the footage. And then so this is where a lot of microwave timing comes into play, the final act of this movie, because he puts the murder reel in like a box. We learned you crack the door open. You can come in. You can do whatever you want.
This movie has established this. Good Larry Cohen knows how to make a consistent film.
So he is aware that Keith is out in the hallway watching him do this.
Oh, he was?
I don't know.
Oh, you just said that, though.
Well, that's what I said it as a question.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
sure.
I didn't understand that.
Because this is where the movie's so meta, it's hard for me to even know what... Good job, Larry Cohen. I don't know what is supposed to be real and what's supposed to be fantasy.
Yeah, and that's literally the point of this movie is questioning it.
Because he obviously hides the strangulation reel behind some other canisters of film.
Yes.
And Keith is watching.
Right. through a crack in the door, like you said. And so now we have this whole fucking scene where Keith is there watching, but he disappears. And then Neville's going to call it a day. So Keith meets him down in the lobby. Oh, I must have missed you on the elevator. I don't know how that works out, but he's down there. You done for the day? Oh, I'm fucking bone dry tired. It means he just jerked off.
And he brings up, he's like, when are we going to finish this film? I have a kid, you know. And it's like, look, it'll get done when it gets done. So now, he was asking about, he's like, I want those home movies.
Yeah, he took it. He learned that, because he's like, hey, I know you have my home films of his 32-month-old son.
Right. And he's just like, yeah, because the police released them to you for some reason.
Right. Well, I
want them back.
Yeah, I'm working on this film that's very...
He's like, I need these for my film. He's like, you'll get them back when I tell you can have them back.
And of course, Keith's getting hot about this because Keith's motivation this whole film is, I got to bring my fucking mother back home to my child.
Right.
I don't care if it isn't the actual mother because she's dead. I'll go with the woman who looks like his mother. He won't know the difference. He's only 32 months old.
Right. So, Neville's like, hey, cool it. I'll give him back to you when you've earned it. So he gets in the cab, takes off back to his apartment. Keith goes right back into the thing. 'Cause he saw him. He thought he was hiding the home movies, but he was really hiding the murder reel.
That's right.
So he gets the murder reel thinking it's the home movies. Because he's going to show it. Because he's going to somehow brainwash Elaine into thinking, like, look, you could be the mother of this kid, right? Like, just met this guy a week ago and shit.
I know. This would not fly well for most women. But this is how this next scene sets up. Because we're going back over to Andrea/Keith's place. He has invited Elaine over under the auspices of Neville. And she was like, why is Neville inviting me over to your place? Well, Neville's not going to be showing up. But I do want you to watch this film because I want you to learn about, my wife. As we didn't talk about, but in the bedroom scene that they shot, a minute ago with Neville, who was getting really into it, and Keith was getting really out of it, Elaine admits, like, I don't know who I am. I do all this shit for everybody else, and now when I wake up and say I'm an actress, I'm not Elaine. I am Mary Jean Waterville. I'm a person, and I love it, and I want to be an actress. So she's got a.
Well, it's kind of like she obviously, we saw she had her hair up and glasses, obviously uptight.
Yeah.
So now when she's and she's Mary Jean, she can let all her inhibitions
Yes.
down. Yeah.
And she's really into this. So the idea, and Keith bought onto that, the idea of getting further into character really gets her. And so he's drawing her to his place with the auspice of Neville showing up, but also learning more about his late wife. So she shows up, but they have to put the fucking projector back together because he got smashed by Mary Jean at the beginning of the movie, everybody.
So he's putting on the murder reel unknowingly.
Yeah.
And he's such a doofus that he fucks it up, and it's getting caught in. And she's like, what are you doing here? You got to put it in. And it's getting all chewed up and shit.
Flick some more water on it. Just flick more water. That's what makes the bagels and the pizza so good.
So, I can't remember.
Somehow, no, what happens is Neville goes to the other studio and he's working on the film. His assistant brings over a strip and goes, this is the one! This is what you were looking for! No, I wanted the medium shot! It's at my other studio. I gotta go back. And that's when he discovers...
Well, see, this is why I'm thinking he's setting up
Keith,
because why wouldn't he just take it with him if he needed that?
That's
shot?
a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point too. Oh, I didn't really think about that.
He was aware that Keith was watching.
But he does go back to his studio.
Like I said, this final act all relies on microwave timing and
Yeah.
people doing exactly what Neville needs them to do.
But here's the problem: is Neville goes all the way back to his other studio, finds that the door was left open, and Keith fully grifted.
Yeah.
He left everything all over the floor.
Right.
He did not do it to like in specific. Grift it. So it's like, wait, did he plan on this
The
or
thing is,
not?
he didn't seem pissed about it. That's why I think he planned for this to happen.
He
kind of was like, that fucking Keith. You think he'd be like, holy shit, this motherfucker's got my murder fucking shit.
he was like that when okay.
No, he was totally chill. That was
No, I don't know about that. I think we'd have to review that tape because we jumped to. He goes back to the other studio. He finds all of his shit missing, and he's just like, "Oh fuck!" And he rushes over because, of course, he's at Andrea's place, which he knew about. Rushes over there. Doors left ajar, so you know what that means. You can just walk right in. Why are you watching? Why is everyone leaving the door ajar? Is that the New York spirit? We don't have we actually don't have any New York fans. I don't think any New York people show up on our podcast.
Which is weird. You think one,
At least
I
one.
think we've gotten but it might have been a bot. But I think.
But hey, if we have a New York fan living in the
it's
city,
weird how New York and California don't give a shit about us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
we're Midwest boys, man. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
But if we do
Canada loves us.
if we have a big city boy, do you leave your door open?
It's
Just a
early
creak.
80s New York, safe as can be. Yeah,
Safe as can
leave it
be.
open.
So of course Neville's able to just barge in, and he was kind of hot at first, but then he finds it's just a spool of film, and he's like, "You just wrecked my reverse film," and he's kind of glad, but also kind of upset.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting movie because you can see how confused Griff and I are about what's happening in this movie. Because I don't know if he's playing up to Keith, like he's not upset, like this is the plan all along to have him trashed. I don't know.
I think he was that good at masking everything, and so he's just like, "You ruined my fucking film," and
We're gonna have to film that scene again.
Right. And this is where he gets that devilish look on his face because Keith actually offers that to him. He's like, well, if it's just your film, just film it again. And he's like, yeah, you know what? I will have to film it again. And then he extends his hand to Elaine. Hey, you should come over. Was it tonight or whatever? Yeah. Tomorrow night. Tonight. And she's like, well, okay.
It's later. It's another night because there's another scene before
that makes sense, yeah.
So the next scene, Neville and Delroy are in this, screening the dailies. They're watching the bed scene from the day before with both Keith and Elaine, and then Delroy's like, "Hey, there's a pillow. What's that rose in the pillow?"
That's such a fucking beautiful touch. It draws the eye.
This is where his inner Columbo comes out.
Yeah,
where he knows, like, I got this guy finally, because nobody knew. Everyone thought it was scratches. They didn't know it was rose cuts on her back.
Exactly. And that's where Keith goes, yeah, Rose, that wasn't I wish I could take credit for it. That was Keith's idea. He's an auteur, that boy.
And Delroy's like, all right, I'm going to go arrest Keith. Nev calls up Keith to warn him. He's like, look, man, I don't know what happened, but Delroy's on to you now. Come over to my place at 11. I got a meeting earlier, but come over at 11.
That's right. Just avoid him, lay low, show up at my place. Our boys will help you in and everything. It'll all be good. Microwave timing, people. We're starting to fucking we're taking the plastic off the mashed potatoes, make sure it covers the fried chicken so it fries it properly when you put it in the microwave. We're doing all this prep work.
Hungry Man meal?
I'm talking about a Hungry Man here because it's microwave timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where we get some more meta shit, where we get a silent movie kind of placard thing that says, but tells us what Neville's up to.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna have Keith find Elaine in his bed. He's gonna flip out. He's gonna find Neville fucking Elaine, who he now is so warped he thinks it's his wife now.
Correct.
So he'll flip out. He'll kill Elaine, and then I'll kill Keith.
And then Neville will kill Keith. Because obviously, Keith is at risk.
Right. So Elaine arrives. We see Vickers, Delroy's partner, lurking outside, still doing his job as a police officer.
Correct. And she enters, Elaine, and she's just pointing out, because Neville is just like, do you like everything I did for you here? Do you like the Rainforest Cafe? Mastachole? Go ahead, take a handful there. That's what Andrea would have done if you still want to be her. I'm fine with that. I just want to fuck you. Let's go upstairs. Let's go. I got some champagne ready. And she's noticing everything. And again, Elaine calls it out. Nothing you do is natural. Everything about you is staged.
Nothing real. For a guy who's obsessed with being real, there's nothing real about. She totally figured him out because she's a New Yorker. She got that street smart.
Right. And so they're just kind of like jovially talking about Keith. And she's like, you know, I'm into that fucking weirdo. But at the same time, he's a fucking weirdo. And he's like, oh, does he have a limp little dick? Does he have a little micro dick? Whoa, 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 whoa. He's just weird. He's so obsessed with his late wife. He wants me to become her.
That kid is a complete schizo. If he found you and me together, he would try to kill us.
And again, this is where she's like, no, he fucking wouldn't. He's a weirdo, but not that kind of weirdo.
He wants me to be his wife.
Not Andrea, his wife, even in bed.
She's like, I'm starting to lose myself now. I'm Elaine. I'm Mary Jean to him. I'm Andrea to you.
Hey.
Who am I?
Hey, babe, let's not worry about all those masks. Let's worry about you molding into something I wanna fuck.
And she's like, ugh, I still don't like you. But
What?
I'll fuck you.
That's no excuse. I'm sorry. Let's not fucking. This is one of my favorite dialogues of this movie. He says, I want to take you to the bedroom and fuck you. And she says, I don't like you. I don't want to do that. That's no excuse. Let's do it anyways.
Thinks about it, it's like, all right.
So next scene is her completely undressed in her tiny little undies with her butt hanging out, walking into the bedroom.
No, he's a charmer. Film fog, Griff. Film fog.
Film fog.
Outside, Keith notices Vicker, so he has to climb up these fire escape to get to the roof.
Yeah.
He's doing like some Spider-Man shit. He's like fucking on the ledge and shit.
Yeah, I know. He's doing some incredible work here. Vicker starts noticing the silhouette of Keith entering the place because, again, all the stained glass, all the lights that are going on. Keith finds all the dress and the
he gets
bra.
To the ledge, so he's looking in the window, and he sees like the trail of clothes.
Yeah, and he's like getting all fucking sad about it because he wants to be with Elaine now because Elaine is basically his wife. Who was MJ? Maybe Elaine is MJ. So he peers into the bedroom because it is a giant open bedroom. There's no door to it. You know, it's just a giant open loft bedroom. Macaws everywhere.
So if there's no door, you can really go right.
You can. That's not even griffing at that point. That's just iffing.
And he sees them getting ready to fuck. He
They-
bums out.
They are like grade school kids kissing. I mean, she is basically naked. He is Steven Seagaling it with all kinds of clothes on. But they are pecking each other. And she's like, ew, even this is too far.
He's
But he
shirtless.
doesn't.
He's got his pants on, but he's shirtless.
Oh, he's shirtless? Okay.
Yeah. And he starts getting the roses out. He's got to set up the fucking scenario.
That's all right.
And she's like, I don't want to fuck on roses. What the fuck are you talking about?
They're not even in that room yet. Wait, how are they?
They're in there. They're in the bedroom.
That's so weird because this shot is a Kubrick shot now because it doesn't make sense for where it is and where it's at. But you're right. I don't think he had took her to that room yet.
No, they're in the room because he's like trying to fuck her, and this is where Keith is watching her.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's setting up the scene. He's got to have the roses to like make it all work.
She's pointing out the fucking little hot tub pool thing he has in the bedroom. The lights are so bright, just like Andrea / MJ had said.
And she really points out, I don't want to fuck on top of roses. That would hurt.
Yeah, they're fucking thorns, dude.
And then Keith finally, this poor, dumb, stupid, fucking retarded Keith puts the roses together. He's like,
because he sits down and he sees roses, thinks about the scratches in the back. It all comes into him, and then he's like, oh my God. And he runs over, jumps behind a bar, and finds the fuse box.
right. And just starts randomly just pulling out fuses. Vicker's outside watching as the lights go out on the building.
He, instead of calling back up, doing anything, he shakes the door. Let me in! Let me in! Please!
He eventually pulls out the one to the bedroom, so fucking Neville's like, oh, what the fuck?
There's somebody in here. I must get to this.
you know what? This is the beauty of Golan-Globus Theater. This wasn't planned out, people. But we always somehow, there's always connections to the movies we do. What does he go for? What does the killer go for?
You know, Aubrey had a problem with this. She doesn't think we understand what scissoring means.
Yeah, we know.
We know what
Dad.
scissoring means.
Shiver me scissors.
Shiver me scissors. And so this man thinks if I'm going to get a man, I'm going to scissor him.
Just like Arabella. The ultimate murder weapon. Scissors.
This whole month was full circle. You're welcome.
So they start struggling. They're struggling right against. They're like at a balcony right above the fucking Rainforest Cafe. Pool.
Yes, exactly.
They're struggling.
Finally, Elaine finds her way over to the fuse box, and Neville's yelling out to her, "Plug him in! Plug him in!"
Keith tells her to do that, I think.
No, well, maybe. I don't know. Either
I don't know
way.
what the fucking plan Keith had. It's stupid.
I don't know. Well, his plan was to murder, and he did a good job of it. Because he throws fucking Neville over the balcony into the Rainforest Cafe pool. He lands in there, but he pulls a light structure down with him. As the lights are coming on, and microwave timing again, as Elaine is plugging in the last bulb that happens to be the power to the light structure that Neville pulled down with him, he gets electrocuted.
All right, so next morning we see Delroy. He's in front of all the reporters, and the case has been like they actually rub it in because there's a newspaper. Neville bombs another, has another bomb because he can't do a murder right.
Yeah,
he's rubbing it in on Neville, and he's like, all right, he's doing the Columbo thing where he's explaining how he knew everything.
That's right.
We found the hidden camera that Neville had. Andrew's murder and Grushkin are both pinned on Neville. What about the picture, though? Will that be finished?
Well, and this is where Delroy looked directly into the camera. Maybe if we find the right person with the right directing skills and the right eye for it all, we might finish this film.
Then we cut to a scene. We're at the airport. Keith and Elaine are desperately trying to get on this plane back to Oklahoma City. So he's still in this idea. You're going to become my son's mother.
Yes.
And she's going along with it. She has a whole life in New York.
Yes. And it's kind of weird.
And we forget to point out, that's not how it works. Mary Jean's body was found. It's not like she just disappeared and she could become Mary Jean.
Yeah, they're going to play a whole fucking, act. She got into acting for a little boy. That's going to be her acting for the rest of her life.
This is the weird thing about Elaine. We just pointed out that when Neville wanted to fuck her and she wasn't into it. She's not very into doing this, but she's just going along with it.
Yes. It's so bizarre. It's just like how, seriously, film classes should be done. You're welcome. Take this and run with it. If I did a film class, I would talk about this movie for 3-4 weeks because Elaine's character alone is worth talking about. Her whole thing was I was born in a rich family. I don't know what the fuck I am, so I volunteer all of my time away because I don't need to make money. Oh, I got into acting. I loved waking up being somebody else. And now she's waking up being somebody's fucking mother because Keith told her, you should be my son's mother. It is that scene. I don't remember what movie it's from where the old couple gets on the bus and they fucking play the song and as they drive out. Oh, my God. This is the saddest ending I've ever seen in a movie. Life.
It shows how stupid Keith is, though. Because like I pointed out, we know she can't just assume Mary Jean's life. I mean, she could she can't become Mary Jean because Mary Jean was found. We know that she died.
Yes. So
I mean, I guess I guess she could become Jim. Jimmy knows no difference. He's only 31 months old.
Yeah.
She could become his mother again. Yes, but she's never gonna be Mary Jean Waterman because we know how her story ended. She can't just assume the identity. Is what I'm trying to say.
I would love this to have had a spiritual sequel where they actually continue the movie, but with a different name, where they don't explain that this is a sequel to this movie, because this story is fucking interesting as shit. Because
I think we found the next project for on
Mermaid
Taylor-Joy.
No, dude, again, she could fit into this because she had that same like doe-eyed expression of just like, I don't know what I'm doing and I'm going along with it. Because you're right, Keith is
He's
so
not living in reality.
no. Keith is so sick. He's not living in reality, and this is what makes it so interesting. Because you're like, is this a happy? No, this is one of the most depressing endings, and we just watched Godzilla vs. Small Monster, where you realize Godzilla didn't solve anything.
No.
Nobody solved anything in that movie. We didn't solve anything here. We have a sick person being coddled to by
He
this
wants
woman.
to live in this fantasy he created where it's him and his son and his wife.
Exactly.
He's not living in reality.
Oh my god, this is a great fucking movie.
Yeah, you might not have jerked off to this movie.
Yeah.
But your mind got jerked off.
Your mind got so much pec jelly applied, and it fucking just like it shot off like a goddamn cannon.
That's not the end. It gets still even more meta because the plane flies off, and then we have a shot. It says a Philip Delroy film.
Murray, is that Columbo?
Yes. So we're left with the idea. The film we just watched was that Detective Philip Delroy's version of what happened.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I'm serious. This was a fucking cool movie. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Arbra.
Thank
You're
you,
a perv,
Arbra.
And you have taste.
Oh, and taste?
You have... All
Oh.
right. Now, this is really going to cool you off because I'm going to hand the reins over to Griff for the next month. I'm taking it off. I'm going to phone it in. I'll be honest, I'm going to phone it in.
Yeah.
But it'll be worth it because you're going to get into the mind of Griff for the next 4 weeks.
The pressure, the heat I'm feeling is intense, very much like the Midwest heat wave we're having. Murray brought it up to me when we were seeing Godzilla. Are you ready for Griffmas in July? And I forgot every movie I had already picked out. And I already picked out the movies. And I still sweat. I was like, Murray, I don't have a single fucking movie. And then after a minute, I was like, wait a minute. No, I already have this planned out. And we got to start big. We had our pervert month. We got to go back to our action. Yeah. And I know just the action guy. You already have the name in mind. If you know Griff, you know the man who in mind.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think I know where we're going. I don't know what movie, but I think I know what direction we're going in.
I believe I saw this one as a kid. I'm pretty sure I did. And regardless, we're going to fucking watch it, and I'm fucking excited for it because, of course, it's starring my man, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Back in the theater. It's been a while.
It's been maybe since last Christmas in July when we did.
I
think it was when we did fucking.
don't remember.
I can't remember the name of it. Nowhere to Run.
Yeah,
Nowhere to Run, where we had Macaulay Culkin's brother.
I believe that we haven't done a Jean-Claude.
Well, Murray, we have so much to get to.
I know, yeah, you're right.
Every year, we're like, we have nothing left. Nope, we got thousands of movies. We forget about Seagal and Van Damme.
Hey, if we had done what some of you wanted us to do and just canon movies, yeah, we'd be done.
It'd be done, yeah. We always,
And what would you do with your Wednesday night? Talk to your wife and kids?
yeah,
Be a Keith?
Be a
No,
Keith.
be a Neville.
yeah, be a Neville. Don't be a Neville. Don't
Be
murder
your
people.
most hedonistic desires.
So, Murray, it might get a little sexy for some people because we're doing a little movie called Death Warrant. And when you have...
I have seen this one. I
Oh, you
believe.
have?
It's the prison one, right?
It is a prison
I
one.
saw it like 30 years ago. The last time I saw it, so I know the movie. I can't remember. So it'll be a good.
It'll be
treat for me.
interesting
I'll
because
watch it again.
I think the last time I saw it might have been 30 years ago.
I'm almost positive our favorite bad guy, Patrick Kilpatrick, is the killer in it.
Nice.
I think his character's name is the Sandman. I want to say that. That's all I remember.
I feel like I looked at some of the pictures. Like I'm 90% sure I watched this, but I have not watched any other content from it. So, hey, Griffiths in July, starting off with a tippy tap, a kick, a full frontal kick to the face.
It's a good, like, 'cause we got to ease people out. People are so horned up right now. Like Jean-Claude's that perfect medium. You still get the ass.
Yeah, you still get the ass.
So we're just taking them cooling.
It's a
them off
prison.
slow.
We know
You
prison.
don't want to go cold turkey.
No.
From like fucking hot fucking movies we've been doing to like something.
What we've learned about our prison system is we make sure they know they're human cattle. no air conditioning in the southern heat. They're sweating profusely. They barely have any clothes on because they're that hot. So that's what we're doing. We're edging you off a little bit. We're just giving you the subtle nudity. Just dudes with rippling abs and great glutes.
There you have it, people. I'm excited for Griffiths in July. You should be too. And I'm going to say this for the last time for the next 4 weeks. Keep it warm.